in the quiet at night, with my heart laid bare, something stirring inside, like a silent prayer. You gave me this flame, a purpose divine. Lord, help me remain in your design. Keep my lamp burning, oh, keep my lamp burning right, keep my lamp burning, oh, till I see your light. Every moment I breathe, every step that I take, all the truth I believe, all the choices I make, you fill me with grace, a vessel refined. Now I seek your face, lead down behind, keep my lamp burning, oh, keep my lamp.
Hey everybody, good to see you. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you could make it. It's good to be here. You guys rock. So tonight is going to be a Q&A evening. So it's up to you if you guys have any questions to ask, because I do get a lot of questions. But there's a catch though. You either have to decide to come on the panel and ask me the question personally, or you can send a super chat. It's up to you. If you're just going to ask a question in the chat, like the trolls do usually, without actually supporting the channel, without actually coming on and talking to me personally or hitting the super chat, then sorry, I will be unfortunately ignoring your question. It's up to you. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming. I'm glad you could make it. Waiting for some of the panel still to come on. Obviously, people are busy, but it's good to see you all. Thank you for coming. So do hit the likes, share the show, and appreciate you all. What do you have? No, Matt is in the house. He just popped in. What's up, Matt? How's it going?
Hey, how you doing, brother? Doing well.
Good. Glad you could make it, man.
Yeah, brother.
It's good. So we do have 33% of people saying yes, they have questions for us on the panel. So there should be people eager to ask a question. I'm sure, Matt, you're also capable of answering questions if they have to ask. So
Yeah, that's funny. 33%.
there's the new link, Janusz. I don't know. Matt seemed to have got in with it. I don't know. Derek also said he had an issue with the link for some odd reason.
Yeah, I
But
just
there's
found
the
it.
link.
I actually was having trouble joining a minute ago.
I wonder
But
why.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna replace the message. Well, there's the link. Try it now, Janusz. There we go. Now it works. Okay. Good to see you, man.
Hello, everyone. How are you guys?
Good,
Hey,
good,
Janusz.
good.
Good to see you,
Thank
brother.
you. Yeah, the one in the email didn't work. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. Really weird. But yeah, it's good to see you guys. So I've been streaming quite a lot today for some reason. Probably because I'm
Yeah, I've
home
seen
alone.
some videos popping up later. Before, sorry. Yeah.
We had a good stream this morning, though. I must say, it was quite good.
You were playing game as well, I think.
Yeah, that was late in the afternoon. Decided
Right.
to play some Roblox, just chill, because I haven't played games in a long time, and I was like, oh, let's talk about Roblox. Let's see what it's about. And then I found one of the games, and then started playing. I was like, that's okay. Playing some DBZ kind of looked like a Minecraft DBZ type of thing.
I've been doing like old school gaming. I've been doing like Crash Bandicoot and whatnot. I got this
Yeah,
little
Crash Bandicoot.
gaming
That
thing
was
here that has like it's got like 1,000 games on it, and I've just been playing like old PlayStation games that I've played when I was a kid.
okay. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot was awesome. I used to love that. I first have to get teams on sleeping. Oh, look who's in. Aid, how's it going? Can you hear us, Aid?
Yo, yo.
ATB.
Oh, it's sleeping. How's it going?
Hey. Let me
I thought
just
the
press
real
mute.
Aid.
There we go. Too many windows.
Yeah, got a lot.
I've got a
The
question
car's
for
looking
you.
quite good, man.
Yeah, man, it's looking good in it. But I've got a question for you. Can stroke will you argue for the shape of the Earth without any religion context to it?
Yes,
Why don't you do that?
I have many times. My whole channel is practically built, and then I
I know.
decided, no, screw this.
Okay,
When I
do you
started
agree
my
with
channel, it was practically just based on perspective and physics and stuff. Never brought
do
up.
you agree with me that whether it's like Catholicism or Islam or Christianity or anything else, none of that matters when it comes to the empirical nature of the evidence, the measurements that we can make. Why does
Yeah,
it
no,
have to
no,
be
no.
joined?
Yeah, no. The thing is, like I said, I was a Christian before I was a flat earther. Okay, Christianity didn't bring me to flat Earth. I just see the Bible as a verification of the flat Earth observation.
Yeah. For me, it doesn't go that one step further. For me, it stops before that. It doesn't matter whether, for me personally, this is just my opinion, but it don't matter whether you've got a view on religion or not. You can be any religion you wish. At the end of the
No,
day,
correct.
bendy water is still not straight. Bendy water is still not a thing. Straight water, level water is a thing. It's demonstrable. We can measure it, and we do measure it with LiDAR. And we've mapped out all of Antarctica apparently using LiDAR, and at no point does it ever drop below the X0 axis.
And you know what's great? You know what's great about LiDAR? It can't lie.
It never drops below. It never drops below the zero value. If the Earth was really curving, it should always fall away from the x-axis, and it should be exponential, and it would show that it would be like an ellipsoid or whatever you want to call it. But it doesn't do that. And I tried to get Sean Hawkins to demonstrate how it is that this can be explained on a spherical water ball spinning, orbiting through space, and all that. And obviously, he has nothing. And I actually managed to get him cornered yesterday. He did a whole hangout, apparently, dedicated to me. And he spent like 2 minutes drawing a graph on GeoGebra. And the question I asked him was there's a couple of questions, but one of the questions is if empirically and evidentially we can show that the stars slow down as they get towards the horizon, you guys call that refraction, we call that convergence. Yet, if the stars are slowing down towards the horizon, Sean, it means that without moving a smegging inch, they're not conforming to the 1 degree of movement every 69 miles. Yet you preach that as though it's some kind of globe Earth proof. Yet in real world,
Sean Hawkins is never going to answer a question honestly.
Yeah. Yet in real world, we can demonstrate without moving a smegging inch that they slow down towards the horizon. So what does that do to your claim, Sean? Perhaps if you could join the show and maybe educate us on how I'm wrong, because we can demonstrate that your claim is false. Join us. Let's talk about your problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, at the end of the day, observation in physics doesn't care about a person's belief system. And definitely what we observe in measurements and things don't show that we live on a space testicle. So,
A spinning space testicle.
Yeah, spinning space testicle.
I mean, I'd love Sean to join because, like, he says that I'm a coward, and the reality is, Sean, it's not a debate. Your evidence, your claim is incorrect.
Sean's not going to join. Sean's not going to join. He's a coward.
Oh, that would make him a coward then, wouldn't it?
He is a coward, yes.
He is a coward. But
and the problem is he keeps projecting his cowardice onto others.
Sean, the stars slow towards the horizon without you moving a smegging inch. So what does that do to your claim of 1 degree per 69 miles, Sean. Come and join us and tell us, because I'm all ears. You've got my attention. I'm here for you right now.
Yeah, you guys got a question? You can either send a super chat or you can come on and join the panel to ask.
But you know what? Even if you provide a lot of evidence that his claim is not real, is not true, he will still not change his stand. You
He'll
are not
still
able.
vomit it every day. What do the Polaris challenge?
I know,
The Polaris challenge has been dead for years, Sean, but you still preach it.
That's why I think it's important, for people to know that those people, willingly or unwillingly, are Satan's agent. That's why I think it's important as well to include in religion, because we see the bigger picture, because we know how Satan deceives. Satan doesn't present himself to everyone. He has agents. And unfortunately, willingly or unwillingly, they are part of it.
Come on, Sean. Join us. This is your chance to show us all how stupid I am. Let's present the evidence and we'll get your explanation for why the stars slow down as they get towards the horizon and how you can adjust for that in your claim of 69 miles equals 1 degree. We're waiting. I'm waiting for you, Sean.
You see, the problem is they don't understand that 69 miles per 1 degree, they think it's globe-based. It's not.
It's flat earth-based.
Yeah, because like 69 miles isn't a great, what is it, a great circular route. It's just a straight line, Sean.
Straight line.
That's why I liked when the debatable came and the second guy, because they had the balls. They could, they had opportunity and they use it to defend.
And look how cordial it was. Look how cordial that discussion was.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and let me just add, because Flatzoid took away the spanners, he does this every now and again. I'm going to use it to block Sean if he doesn't join in. And then when he complains that I've blocked him because I'm a coward, it's because you refuse to join, Sean. I'm here for you, Sean. Join us.
Come on, Sean. No, I think Sean has already left. He's probably streaming us live again. Let's go check.
So if he's restreaming, that just literally is the demonstration or the example of cowardice.
Let's go see. I don't see him though. Because he was all over in my chat before the stream started, and as soon as we started, he was like, gone like the wind.
So if he's not here, can I just give a shout out to Liverpool Football Club for winning the Premier League? Woo! 20 times. Woo!
I'm sure my brother's happy. He's also a Liverpool supporter.
They drew with Arsenal today 2-2, but they were 2-0 up, and then Trent Alexander-Arnold came on. And if you're not familiar, Trent's leaving to go to Real Madrid. And obviously the football then went out the window when he came on as sub, and everyone was booing him. So like we threw away a 2-0 lead and it went to 2-2, but Trent got booed all the time.
Guys, I just have one small request to everyone. If you throw the question, someone will be replying. Don't add additional question. Just focus on the question asked. Don't spill, don't change the subject, don't provide additional info. Just ask the question and wait patiently for the answer. Do not interrupt. Later, I don't know, if you are going to forget something, that's a question, make a note on a piece of paper and then ask. Do not interrupt.
Yeah, wait until the question's answered, and then be specific on the question who you want to ask it to. That usually does help for communication.
I'm popping up and down because I'm preparing food now, so I will be here and I won't be here. But I will be listening.
I'll be mainly listening. My brothers are stopping by, so to celebrate Mother's Day with my mom.
Awesome. But it's good to see you, man.
Yeah, likewise, boys.
Always relaxing to see the great man at the back in the painting there.
I agree.
Hey, Luca.
Hello.
Oh,
I heard you got a question for Sleeping Warrior.
Huh?
Just checking.
I believe you got a question for me, Luca.
No, I don't. But
what have you joined for?
Actually, now, yeah. I mean, I was actually, yeah. Let's go with one of the originals. why? What made you first? What made you a flat earther?
Who are you
Who?
asking?
Well, I know you, Flatzoid. I remember asking you. So let's go with. Let's go. Let's go one by one. Yeah, let's go with the entire panel.
All right, I can start.
Okay.
For me, I was looking into stuff since 40, 50 years, and whatever I have touched, everything was a lie. So before, it was for me the big one, theory of evolution, theory of Big Bang, and the last one, I think the last one, that was the flat Earth. I look into it, just that cannot be true. That's conspiracy theory, probably spilled by the CIA or something, to divide people. Because I was a very long time ago aware of the divide and conquer agenda. So I look into it, and I couldn't find it in my mind, on my soul, that it could be true. The globe Earth, like it has to be flat. And then when I was reading again Bible, before I was blinded, I couldn't see it. When I read it, that's the confirmation for me.
All right.
I have to say basically the same thing. I got to look into the certain truths and doing research, and I thought flat Earth was, when I heard about it, I thought it was ridiculous. But then I realized I was lied to about so many things that I should look into it. So when I started looking into it, I realized that it held water. Pun intended.
All right.
I don't consider myself to be a flat earther. I consider myself to be more.
Oh, right, yeah. You're the. You call yourself a realist or something?
Well, an empiricist.
What do you say?
Empiricist.
An empiricist. Yeah. So what led you down the path of the empiricist?
Well, let's define what an empiricist is, right?
All right. Well, how do you define empiricist?
Based on evidence, the way that everybody else does. So, like for instance, like if somebody said that unicorns exist, for example, and they told me what food they ate, and they told me how many times you needed to take them for a walk, and how you could calculate how often they needed to go to the toilet, does that mean that they exist?
No.
No.
No. And if
IQ and fee.
And if I was to tell you that I, for example, drove a Ferrari and it was pink, and I've got the key for it on my desk, and I paid £100 bazillion for it, does that mean I've actually got a Ferrari?
No.
But if someone claims that gravity exists and can't prove it, or that the sky's a vacuum but can't demonstrate it, or that I don't know, that water curves, standing water curves, does that mean that any of that's true?
Well, you'd need evidence.
Exactly.
For that.
That's what I am. I'm an empiricist, and I understand that if you can.
Okay, so you look at the evidence.
Sure.
So you look at the evidence for both sides, and flat Earth has more evidence than the globe Earth does. So you go with that.
Well, flat Earth as it is the only side that's got support in science, scientific evidence, demonstrations. It's the only side of the two that can do any of that. So you can call me a flat earther, but at the end of the day, if there's science supporting it, that makes me an empiricist.
Sure. If the science supports your view, that makes you an empiricist.
No.
You look at the
science dictates the view. But what we have a disconnect though, because what you call science and what I call science are two very different things.
So what do you mean?
Well, science is a defined term. It's based on observation and experiment. It's not based on observation and mathematics or logical fallacy or affirming the consequence. It's based on observation and experiment.
Isn't math like a big part of the scientific
language?
Not at all. Maths doesn't appear in the scientific method anywhere.
It's just a language.
No, it's a big part of this. It's in the data.
The math is only there to describe the language. It's just there to describe.
The data is math. though.
It
Yeah,
isn't.
but
The data is not,
mathematically,
the data is not
mathematically, it doesn't
mathematics.
match.
Like how you
Mathematically,
get
it
the
doesn't even
data.
match in the
You
first
use
place.
mathematics to get
No, you
to
don't.
get the
No,
data.
that's not how you get data. You measure it to get the data, and then you demonstrate how you got the data. That's what science is.
You do
So,
some
like,
calculations to get the data.
no, that's not
Don't do
science.
calculations. No, my
There's
friend.
no calculations in science.
That's where this
And
connection.
mathematically,
People think that the mathematics.
Okay, so
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. We do have different views on the scientific method. You're right.
Yeah, but the
mathematically, the
difference
globe
is
Earth
my
doesn't work
views are
out. That's the thing.
consistent with the scientific method, and your views are consistent with Narnia.
Flat, can you bring the scientific
My
method
view-
on screen so people will get it? Because it looks like a lot of people is confused.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Luke
Can you
has always
show
been
the
confused.
scientific method?
Sure. But what would it benefit you, though, if we show it you? Because all you'll do is say, no, well, this is the one that I use, and then you'll go to it, and then they'll all say the same thing there or thereabouts. But the point is that science is based on experiment, not mathematics, not models, not presuppositions, not, what's the one where they all agree? Consensus reality. It's not based on any of those things. It's based on experiment.
Well,
Well, technically,
so
you do have to presuppose. You do have to presuppose something, during like
yes,
your
you need
thesis.
to
But
make an
that's a
assumption.
presupposition. But at the same time, the presupposition it's derailed when you try to test it. When it comes to the globe Earth being 24,901 miles.
So you don't agree that that going to the hold on. So you disagree that the Cavendish experiment is an experiment,
Not an
right?
experiment.
It's not an experiment. What was the
That's an
hypothesis?
observation. It's an
Stop.
observation and a
Stop.
hypothesis.
What was the
Demonstration.
hypothesis? What was the hypothesis?
Okay, so that's the second step. Let's go
Okay,
with
so
the
what-
What
observation
is the
first.
hypothesis for
So
Cavendish?
let's go to the first step then. What was the observed phenomena occurring?
Okay, well, the observed phenomenon actually came about by accident.
Guys, we can speak about this. Guys, listen.
As
We
the
can speak
original
about this
Cavendish,
over and over again. It's no point. We have to go to
spoken
the
about this with-
understanding of scientific method. Because
Yeah,
if you
we've
don't get
as
basics,
the original
because-
Cavendish experiment was used to test or measure
No,
the
there wasn't
density
an
of Earth.
experiment. The region Cavendish was made to calculate Earth's mean density. That was it.
Density, yes, yeah.
Okay,
It
but
was
look at the
used to
scientific
calculate
method
the
though. It's on
the
screen for you.
original.
Okay,
What
look
was
at
the
the
observed
first.
phenomena, Luca?
But the observed phenomenon was mass attracts mass.
Okay, so
the
how
two-
would you
the
say
two
that doesn't
balls-
exist? That doesn't exist because we see things that go up, not always down.
Well, the observed phenomena there was mass attracts mass.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen.
Well, what was
It doesn't
what
happen.
was the magnetic properties?
No, it doesn't happen. There's no observed phenomena. The observed phenomena has to be the same thing over and over and over again, but in real world, it doesn't always happen. There are examples where things go up,
Well,
like
there's
evaporate.
there's explanations for that too, like how
Okay.
mass attracts mass.
No,
Okay,
Mass
but
the
even-
thing is-
attracting mass is what
guys,
makes
the
things
thing
go
is, I
up
don't want
too.
this because we've spoken about this many times with Luca before, and it never gets anywhere. So, like I said,
No.
let's rather do this for the show's benefit of everybody in the chat.
Okay,
So
okay,
to
I'm
understand
sorry.
what
let's
the
move
scientific
forward.
what the scientific method's about, because Luca will never get this. It's been beaten to death in him like a dead horse, and it still doesn't come out. Okay, so the first point of the scientific method is observation and question.
Okay,
So,
I agree.
right?
Sure.
So
We
scientists,
agree so far.
I've got an observation. I've got
Yeah.
a cup on my desk, and if I leave it for like a week, the water level drops. So and it happens all the time. It doesn't just happen with water. It happens with cordial. It happens with pop.
Evaporation, right? Yeah.
Wait. Now he's observed that. Now, the second test would be the hypothesis. What's the hypothesis? That is what you would think is the cause for what you observed.
Well, I think that gravity's pulling down my drink, and that's why it's getting lower.
Okay, so your hypothesis is gravity pulls down the. Okay, so what's the experiment for that?
Okay. No. You first move on to the prediction. So what are you going to predict your hypothesis folds from this observation?
I'm going to predict that the cause of my drink going lower, because it's gravity pulling it down. I'm going to propose that if I leave it for long enough, I can vary the length of time, and then prove that because it goes down, that gravity must be doing it, because time is my independent variable.
Okay, cool. And what's your null?
That time is not causing it.
Okay, cool. And then we move on to experiment.
Okay.
So your IV, DV, and control.
Okay, so my IV is time, and my DV is the amount of down. And the longer I leave it,
What?
there must be more gravity pulling it.
Hang on, that doesn't work. You have
That's
to.
No,
not
it
an
does. It
experiment.
does. It does. It does. The whole world agrees with me. It does.
That's not an experiment.
No,
No, it is.
you-
It
you-
is
you
because
have-
It is an
time.
experiment.
Are you saying that time is not an independent variable?
I'm saying
but
I'm
the,
not
the
saying
three
that. It's the-
differentials. You have to have three differentials. You have to have like a pressurized system, a vacuum, and then like a.
Yeah, but that will be the control, though. There will be
That would-
controls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to set up something physical
Yeah.
to
My drink-
demonstrate it.
Yeah, my drink on the window ledge, it'll go down after about 3 or 4 or 5 days, 6 days maybe. Must be
Okay,
gravity,
so
right?
you observe the water level going down after
Yeah.
time. So time
Yeah.
would be the dependent variable or
No, time's the
What again?
independent variable. 'cause if I-
independent? Right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
yeah.
cause. Time is the
You wait,
cause, he's
yes.
saying.
Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
time. So the longer I
Time-
leave it, the more gravity pulls on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you leave it for a certain amount of time, and that causes the water level to go down.
Yeah, so gravity, right?
I just want to say thank you, David Banner, for your £2
But-
super chat. Great reflect, good topic, and a panel. My question is, I just got to wait for his question. But thank you for the super chat, Banner. You rock. Thank you for the support, man. I just want to point out that you do know Sleeping Water is literally pulling your leg here, Luca.
But isn't gravity? How does gravity make the water level go down?
No. The cause is time, not gravity, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Time.
My friend,
Time
that-
causes
It's
it.
evaporation. It's
what's
My friend,
evaporation,
about
you got to
gravity?
buddy.
understand.
Like,
Yeah, but
like
even the
seriously,
water
it's
goes
down.
evaporation.
Guys,
Water
goes
evaporates
down, though,
like
and
gas.
time. So it has to be gravity, right? What else could it be?
guys, even if it sounds
But it's in
ridiculous,
a container.
that's the hypothesis.
So what?
We'll be testing this hypothesis later. So let him
That's
speak.
what the experiment's for.
Exactly.
That's a big-
We can provide evidence for that, or we can provide evidence against it.
Yeah, but
That's
hang on,
the
we're not
hypothesis.
there yet. Luca's leading
Unless
this.
you can, unless you can prove that water can go through solid mass, then you've got no argument.
Well, that's
do,
the
do
thing.
you
What
That's
about
the
agree,
evaporation, brother?
do you agree that the water level's going down over time, Luca? Yes or no?
Yeah, because of evaporation.
But then must be gravity pulling it down, right? Because the water level's definitely going down, and we leave it longer, and it goes down more faster, and
But
then it
that's
must be
not what we
gravity.
said gravity does.
Wait, Luca, but that's not
does
his
the water
wait,
become
wait.
denser? Does the water become denser over time?
It
But you
becomes
see, that's
less
the thing.
dense as
But
it
But that's the
evaporates.
thing,
Press
Luca.
itself?
You have to understand his hypothesis is specific to one IV, which is time. So you can't say evaporation. That's a different hypothesis.
Oh yeah, that we don't listen to other IVs. Time is the cause, Luca, because we know it's time. Because the longer we leave it, I mean, if I only leave it for a few minutes, it don't move, right?
Yeah,
So time must be the independent variable, and gravity must be the reason why.
but where's gravity come from?
Yes,
You
we all
tell
know
us,
it
buddy.
exists. We all know it exists, so it must be the cause, right?
But what? I don't get it. You're
I know you
not
don't.
This
making
is
any
like
sense.
Cavendish. He's pulling
I
your leg.
know,
It's
but
like
this is.
Cavendish.
I
making
agree.
zero
I'm not
sense.
making any sense, but this is what it's like when we try talking to you guys about scientific method, because you guys never make sense either. You're making my point for me, Luca. Thank you.
The
So
point is, Luca,
you
he's
knew
pointing out.
you weren't making any sense.
Wait. Luca, the point he's trying to make out is just like when you guys claim Cavendish. You have an IV, but you don't claim the IV is the cause. You claim something else is the cause for that IV.
Amen.
In other words, like Cavendish, you claim gravity causes gravity.
We don't say that though, do we?
You
Yes,
say
you do.
mass
Yes.
attracts mass.
Yes.
Do you not?
Okay, well, when do we say gravity causes gravity in our explanation?
You say
Wait.
mass attracts mass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And what causes mass attracting mass?
mass attracts mass. I guess because, well,
I
because
mean, is there an electrical field? I mean, what's going on? Like, can you explain it to us here?
okay, well, okay, well, we have mass, and since we have a mass, we have gravity.
What's gravity,
Right.
Luca? Define gravity.
Gravity is, well, you could say mass makes gravity in a way.
Define it. Come on, define it as per science today. Not your own definition. Define it as
Okay.
per science today.
And I'm just trying to help you out here, Luca.
The
like,
bending,
I'm just trying to help you out here.
the
At
bending
least say something.
of
Don't say the bending of time and space. Don't say that.
No, but that is what the
that's
definition
just ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
No, let him
If-
say
if-
it. Go on.
okay, the bending of time space around massive objects.
Okay, so how is the bending of space-time causing anything in our real world when, by definition, it's conceptual?
Well, we have like a we have like a we have the blanket demonstration, right? Like
Can
you
we
put
measure it?
something on the blanket and it folds it. It like bends the blanket inward. That's kind of how like it works.
Okay, before you
Like,
go on,
like
Luca,
when you take a book that's been like distorted, like say it's like a bended book, and you put a heavier book on top of it, like a hardback, just to flatten it back out. Is it?
yeah, before we
I
go
know
on, just wanna
it
say
it is a
wait,
bit
wait, Luca,
complicated.
wait. Before we go on, I just want to say thank you, Jeff Conk, for being a member for 22 months. Woohoo! He says Luca has no clue whatsoever.
He
I
doesn't.
100% concur.
He
Thank you
doesn't.
very much for being a member. Hey, Mike, good to see you, man.
Hi,
Luca,
hi,
hey,
Keith.
Luca, the best thing is, Luca, you've just defined gravity as per current science, and you didn't say it was mass attracting mass. Think about that.
But we observe mass attract mass. So.
We don't.
Where?
We don't.
Where?
Well, you know, like
No,
mountains.
we don't. That's why we ask you.
Mountains.
Mountains,
attract
yeah.
mass.
So the Schellelian, or the
The
Schellelian.
Sahelian, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay, so talk me through that then. The observed phenomena is what? Mountains attract mass. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so mountains attract mass. So what are we going to do to test it?
Any mass attracts mass.
Well,
Okay.
why do you think there's so much snow on the peaks?
Luca, to claim
Because
something,
it's
I
cold.
mean, Jesus.
Luca, to claim something, you
It's
have to provide
really
evidence
cold up
supporting your
there.
claims. So can you
Huh?
do that for us, please? To claim anything, you have to provide evidence supporting your claims. So could you please
Yeah.
provide for us evidence supporting your claims?
Well, hang on,
I-
he's got the Schellelian or Schellelian or however you pronounce
He
it, right?
cannot
So,
support his claim.
Yeah.
It's
so what was the IV? What was the independent variable? The thing that you varied to prove that the cause of the effect was whatever you think the effect was. What did you vary?
How far away the bob was from the mountain?
Okay.
Like how far away the other mass was from the
Okay.
mountain? Because we know that
Now, so his proximity, his distance from mountain, is that something
Yes.
that's man-made, conceptual, and
it's a distance. Yeah.
yeah, is that
Hey,
man-made?
Luca, can I
Or does it
Luca,
actually
can I
exist?
give you just like a little bit of advice? Don't say we know.
They know.
Just say we think.
They
Because you
know.
don't know. Because you
It definitely
don't know.
didn't prove it either. They just calculated it or assumed it.
But it matched, right?
But Luca,
Not
if
really, no, not really.
Luca, if you didn't understand this till now, I think nobody can help you here. Really true, man. You're in the wrong channel, man.
So mass attracts mass, and the mass towards the mountain, right? So what are we going to vary? You said distance. So if distance, then what?
Well, we varied the distance and, well, the kind of... Well, if we want if you say it's electrostatics, then we vary the material as well.
No,
We can
I
take
know.
some material too.
No. You need to
You
finish
like
the
wood
second part.
or something.
You need to finish the second part of the hypothesis, Luca. So if distance, then what?
Then less attraction.
Okay.
We'd
And
observe less attraction.
how did they measure the deviation between the 3, 4, 5 distances that they would have tested? How did they measure that?
Well, we know one. Well, we know
Stop
one
saying we
acceleration
know.
is
We
down.
don't know. We don't know. We don't know.
No, we just
Stop
assume
saying
it.
that.
So we can basically negate the downward acceleration since that's happening. Since that won't change the left and right accelerations. So we can just yeah, well we can. What did you say? They can.
No, I'm asking
Because
how did we measure the variance between being close to mountain, in the middle, and far away from mountain? How did we measure the variance?
well they did the experiment.
But this wouldn't be a downward acceleration anymore. This would be a
lateral.
Acceleration against the mountain. You understand? You're not something massive contracts to. This is stupid. This
It is stupid. I wanted to know how Luca would measure it, or how he thinks that they measure the variance between being close and being far away.
You cannot. This is stupid.
Because of that, they used what's it? The Newton's gravitational equation. You know the
So maths. So which step in math? Which step in experiment in scientific method? Which step in scientific method is that?
They already knew what they had to do. They calculated.
No, stop. Which step in scientific method is maths?
That would come after the experiment.
It doesn't exist.
You know, Luca, in your perspective, when an aircraft flies over, say, some land, and then comes a mountain, he would have to pull up because the mountain will pull him down, right? Is that your logic?
It's too weak.
Oh, it's too weak.
Wow.
I just want to say thank you, Jeff Conkle, for your 2 Canadians. He says, "Why do you have zero clue, Luca?" Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate all the support, Jeff. You rock, man. So, Luca, why do you have no clue, man?
In his soul.
Hey, can I get that money? It was addressed to me.
Luca, it's too weak for planes, but it's strong enough for balls and measurements and better maths, right?
Well, yeah, gravity. It depends on the size of the mass.
How gravity selective?
Gravity. It depends on the size of the mass.
Luca, can I ask you a question? Have you seen my egg test video?
Is that the one?
This is an egg.
You put salt?
Yeah, the salt one, right? Can you explain to me that if I add more salt below the egg, because obviously salt is more dense than water, if I increase
yeah, you're changing the density.
Yeah, the salinity. Yep.
But if I add more mass below the egg, why does the egg not be attracted towards the mass? Goes the other way.
You're adding like how much mass are you adding?
Doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, think about it. It's buoyancy and density, brother. It's buoyancy and density. You put more mass below the egg floats.
If I put more mass below the egg, why is the egg not attracted towards that mass?
Exactly. Explain it.
Technically, it is.
It isn't. It demonstrably it went the other way, Luca. Demonstrably didn't do what you would say it should.
That the buoyant force is greater than the mass, greater than the
Yeah, but there's more.
Force
There's more density towards the bottom, though.
Yes,
I mean, it should be
attracted. So mass doesn't attract mass, then, Luca. It went the other way.
You changed the density of the water. Therefore,
correct. So you agree with buoyancy and density, like the medium that you're in. So.
No, but I'm just demonstrating that when I added mass below the egg, it went the opposite way and it didn't attract the egg the way you say it does.
But why would it attract the egg?
Because you tell us that mass attracts mass. You tell us that mass attracts mass.
Yeah, but I also say it depends on the size of the mass as well.
Yeah, but we're adding more mass below the egg, right? And the Earth's
Yeah,
mass
you're
plus
adding
the
like
salt.
little grains of mass under
Don't
the
matter.
egg.
But
Don't
Luca, then
matter.
I've got another question for you. If you have two different eggs and they weigh with different mass, okay, does it take different amounts of salt or salinity to change the neutral buoyancy of them?
If you have two same eggs of this, what did you say?
Two same eggs, different mass. Does
Yeah,
it take the same amount of salt added to change the salinity to make them both nutrient or different?
Good question.
Very good question.
It would take technically it would take different amounts, but
So not
you
mass
wouldn't be
attracting
able,
mass. You just got to
you
get the
wouldn't be
density
able
ratio.
you wouldn't be able to observe that though.
But do
Yes,
you
you
know what
can.
the
You can
real answer is?
definitely observe that. You could
Do you know what the
definitely
real answer is,
100% observe
Luca?
that.
Luca, do you know what the real answer is? The real
What?
answer to the question that he asked was it depends on the volume of the egg. That's the answer. Nothing to do with anything else, just because if you vary the volume and you keep the mass the same, you can cause it to accelerate up and down.
That's how we use our physics. That is
Correct.
how we use physics.
But that violates your claim of mass attracting mass because we're varying volume. Hot air balloons being the example, submarines being the opposing example where you vary the
But-
mass.
But you've got to understand the shape and the
Oh, we don't have to
the
understand.
You don't
egg
have to, Luca. You have to admit that you were wrong.
and
That's it.
the displacement too.
Luca, the
Luca.
size of the egg is the same. One just has more density than the other. The sizes
Yeah.
of the egg are the same.
So
It's all... Luca,
so you
let me ask you
say-
this. Luca, listen. Let me ask you this, right? A hot air balloon, it's flaccid on the floor. It's got nothing in it other than the atmospheric pressure. It's deflated. It's flat. It's just been unrolled from its box, right? You then put in a load of hot air and you fill it all up and it gets filled with hot air. And eventually it starts rising and mass is not attracting mass anymore.
Heat rises.
Right. So not mass then.
What?
Why is
No,
the egg...
it overcomes the it's like it's
Look, Luca,
like when
does air weight? It does. So if you put more weight to it, how it's possible it's going up instead of going down?
You're making
You get
it
it?
lighter though.
Not making
Yeah.
anything up,
So,
man.
but mass is not attracting it though, is it? Even though you're putting more air into it and you're increasing the pressure, you're putting more
Mass
air
is
into it.
still attracting it. It just overcomes the
But opposite, yes?
gravitational
Attractive, but opposite.
But we're putting more air into it, Luca, right? And it's going the opposite way.
You're putting
Pressure.
Well, you're putting heat. You're putting pressure.
You're
yeah.
putting-
heat and pressure. It's a pressure
you're
differential.
expanding it so
So easy to understand, man.
But we're definitely putting more
I just
air
want to
into
point
it.
out something that remember in the beginning, Luca, you said there's math. Can you tell us where any of the math has been attributed to what you've been speaking about yet?
None.
Well,
in their model.
we haven't gotten to the math part yet.
There is
Because
no
the
math
math is
part.
only data.
Well, where's
Doesn't
the
it
After
math
the
part?
experimentation.
Math is after the experiment.
So it's
Well,
not,
come on, tell it to
it's
us.
not science
Isn't
then.
that,
It's
no,
language.
Luca, there is no maths in experiment ever. There is no maths.
It comes after the
It's the
It
experiment.
data.
doesn't. It doesn't.
Data is language.
There is no maths in experiment. You either manipulate the cause and you get the effect, or you manipulate the cause and don't get the effect. But there's no maths in it anywhere.
Exactly. Math
Do
just
you wanna
manipulates the outcome.
Math part of the scientific experiment method?
It isn't. It isn't. You say that because you need it to be that, so you can beg the question that gravity exists. But scientific method clearly states that the cause is the thing that you wiggle. It's not the
That's
mathematics.
why I have asked
He will
Flats
never
to bring
understand this,
scientific
guys.
method so you will understand what we are talking about. Because if you are assuming that the math or whatever is part of scientific experiment, we are on totally different levels and you don't
Should
understand the
we-
basics.
Should we do something simpler to understand?
Hey, can I ask you a question real quick, Luca? Can
Yeah.
we agree at this point that mass does not attract mass, that it is the medium that it's in? It is a pressure
we
differential.
Kind
Can
of
we
observe that,
agree
but
on that?
but we
Because
mean, we
you
kind
already
of-
admitted it. You admitted it a minute ago.
Listen, there is no but. Can you admit or not?
There's no what?
Can you admit there is no such thing as a mass attract mass? I provided
No,
for you
I
evidence.
can't. I'm
You
How
sorry.
can
see?
you not, dude? You already admitted it, Luca. You
Not
said you.
really.
Yes, you did when you admitted
Anyway,
that the heat, the
let's go
pressure,
on
and
to
the mass that lifted. Okay, let's move on.
let's go into another observation that was made.
Okay, let's go to the shilling again, okay? And I want to ask you, how exactly did they set this experiment up? Did they have any controls for the experiment?
Yeah, they went up to the side of the mountain and set it up, and they found that they found that it moved towards the
No,
mountain.
asking what controls did they have in place
That
to make sure
they
it's only the claimed
Yeah,
ID?
like what material they used, so they proved it couldn't be electrostatic.
Okay.
It was contained to eliminate wind and other
How did
atmospheric
how
effects.
did they contain it?
Oh, they put it like inside of
A tent.
little tent or something. Yeah,
Is a tent airproof?
it definitely helps with
With some wind,
not getting wind. Yeah,
but there's still air inside there, correct?
yeah.
And does Bernoulli's principle come into effect when two large objects are coming towards each other because air increases between those
I
two
mean,
spaces
it's
and
just
therefore it
air
creates
all
a low
around it.
pressure
So
and therefore
if
creates
the
low pressure?
if the air is all around it, then we can negate the air because it wouldn't
No, it
really
can't.
have an
Then
effect
it's
on
not
it.
truly controlled because that means, based on Bernoulli's principle, the effect could be caused by the low pressure thanks to the air rushing between the two objects.
But if the air's all around it, then then
So
the air is irrelevant
the
because
air is not
No, no,
irrelevant.
no.
That
it
means
would be
because
pushing
Wind current is very relevant. Wind
it
current is
would
yeah,
very
be
relevant.
quote unquote it would be pushing against all sides of it simultaneously. So it negates it all around.
no,
It
you know
negates
No,
it.
no,
what
it wouldn't be
happens is
It
pushing
would
like all
flee.
sides in. It would be
It
pushing one side in
absorb
and the
it.
other side out.
But
yeah,
if it's all around it,
It's the
then
difference.
no. What happens is air is always moving in all directions, Luca. And if you got
Yeah.
two large objects together, I don't know if you've ever stood next to a ship before or something, or a large bus. Okay? When you stand, it creates a low pressure system between two objects. The air rushes quicker through that tight space as it compresses.
Yeah,
And
great
therefore it
feeling.
tracks,
Exactly. Yep.
towards it. Do you understand that?
what would cause the washing of air though?
What
The
do you mean cause a
compression
rushing
of
of air? Compression.
the two objects being opposite of
That's
each
Flatzoid.
other, and it would be coming through a canal. It would
Ask,
be
Yeah.
like
Man, my
pressure
Flatzoid,
friend
passing through there.
Yeah.
Flatzoid, ask that question again. You answered with, did you understand it? About the low pressure zone. Ask him that question again and get him to answer it.
Okay. So based on Bernoulli's principle, do you understand, Luca, that if you have two objects close to each other, why there's a low pressure system between the two objects?
What is Bernoulli's principle?
It's based on Bernoulli's principle, the air rushing between the two objects. It creates a low pressure system. It's the same ways planes fly. They use Bernoulli's principle. There's a low pressure on top of the wings that causes the plane to lift.
It's the law of thermodynamics. It always must go to. It changes. How you call it? You know, if something changes, it must get filled with something different. You know, and that's the air.
Let's pursue this point because Luca doesn't realize why this is important.
Yes, that's the problem. We tried to talk to him like eons. I think, man. That's the problem. You know, Luca, we really try with you, and you have a lot of time here to go with your lessons, but it's always the same with you, man.
It really
I'm
is.
sorry.
And Luca, I don't dislike you. I do think you're probably a good person, but
Maybe.
you really do go out of your way to discredit yourself and try to discredit what we're all saying when we're just trying to help you out and tell you the truth, buddy.
Okay, on screen, Luca.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
This would be what I'm talking about. This is an airplane's wing. Okay. Now, because how it's developed, it keeps the high pressure underneath and the low pressure on top. So what happens is because the air is rushing at a quicker rate over the wing, it's causing compression of the air around it, and it causes the plane to lift. Why? Because it's low pressure. Because high always goes to low. This is the thermodynamic
Yeah.
principle.
Yep.
Exactly.
The second law of thermodynamics.
Yeah, pressure always goes
So
to low
that's
pressure.
why
Okay.
with the Schrodingian, that's why I asked you, is it in a vacuum? And you said no, because there's air around it. So it causes a low pressure between the bowling ball, this would be the bowling ball, and the mountain. The air rushing between it causes a low pressure system, and therefore the ball goes towards it. Just like why you think large ships aren't really allowed to be a certain distance, they have to be a certain distance apart in a harbor, because if they're too close, they get attracted to one another thanks to Bernoulli's principle.
So what if you start climbing up a mountain, you'd suddenly feel a
Wow.
gush of pressure against you, or what?
No, Luca. You don't have enough surface area for this.
Look, Luca, if your theory is true, we should all be mountain climbers. We all should be climbing the highest mountain, no problem, because it just attracts us, man.
Yeah, because if mass really did attract mass, the mountains should have the most gas pressure because it's a large mass. So when you go up a mountain, it's supposed to be clumped with gas. Yet that doesn't happen.
Yeah, it's thinner. The higher you go, it's thinner. Yeah, so.
That's why
Well, I guess that's gravity, but
Well,
Luca, let me ask you a question.
the oxygen, the heavier oxygen is gathered around the lowest part, the Earth, basically.
yeah, but what about the Rockies, man? You think about the massive
the-
size
the-
of those
the
mountains on the
less-
Rockies. Like they should actually be sucking more in. Or if you think of like Kilimanjaro and whatnot, shouldn't it be like sucking more gas towards it because of how extremely massive it is? Because it does actually technically those mountains have more iron and
yeah,
magnetic materials, so like they should be
it should
attracting
attract you
those
like
gases. Yeah.
we are all mountain climbers, you know.
I would probably detect more atoms, I guess, around the mountain than
Would it
anywhere
attract the
else.
oxygen? Would it attract the
It's so
oxygen and the
stupid,
nitrogen
man.
and what we're supposed to be able to breathe? I mean, shouldn't we like be able to climb up high on these mountains and breathe
Well,
correctly and
no,
not have to
the
stop
Earth,
and rest?
the massive Earth would be pulling all the oxygen down.
I mean, I'm still wanting to do this year if I can get it right, to do Cavendish 2.0 that I was planning. I really hope I can get it done this year.
Oh, really?
Please.
What's that one? What do you do?
I've designed my own Cavendish experiment 2.0 that shows it's not gravity that attracts mass.
Of course not.
Oh, I'd like to see that when it comes
No,
out.
I'm not. When I make it, I will give the hypothesis and everything, and then yes, I am going to write a dissertation for it.
I would
Okay.
actually like to talk to you about that, Keith, because do you have an electrical meter?
I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, like I said, I actually want to do it in a vacuum. It needs to be done in a vacuum. It has to be accounted for because I'm going to be doing all the controls needed.
And yeah, do you have an electrical meter, like something to test like the voltage or?
No, that's why I say I hope to do it this year because I have to get everything I need.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, make sure you like stick that ground into the ground
I
and
don't
push
need
it to that ball, to whatever that mass is that you're gonna like hang and see.
Yeah, you're going to see. This is going to be really cool.
Yeah.
It's going to totally take away the.
I've thought about this a lot.
Hey, Sof, what's up, man?
What's happening, guys?
Hey, Sof.
Hey, brother.
Hello, Sov. How are you?
All right, got a guideline strike. Be a week before I go up.
Oh wow.
But
Whatever.
you've been busy.
What's that?
You've been busy.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't care at this point. I really don't.
Sometimes you need a little break to get off.
Mhm.
Mm.
Actually, I have a question for Sovereign Soul.
What? Salt? Salt.
Sovereign,
For Sov.
You.
For Dave.
yeah,
Go ahead,
Sov.
Luca.
So it's something I've been wondering about because, well, with the name Sovereign, that indicates to me that you're maybe a sovereign citizen.
And then you're an
No,
assumptive. Then
he's a
you're
free
an
man.
assumptive. Listen, you're an assumptive fool then,
Yes.
because you don't understand what the word sovereign means. Obviously, because you just used an oxymoron. You cannot be sovereign and a citizen at the same time.
The
Exactly.
only sovereign citizens are police officers, lawyers, judges, people like that.
Luca, does dry water exist?
You can
Dry
have a sovereign soul.
No, guys, let me ask a few questions. Does the dry water exist?
No.
There
Okay.
you
Does free slave exist?
Free slavery?
Does
Is
free slave
there
exist?
such thing as a free slave?
The willing slave, I guess.
No. Is there?
No.
If you're a slave, are you free?
No.
There
All
you
right.
go.
That's why you can be sovereign.
What you just said
Yeah,
was
it's oxymoron.
a free slave. That's what sovereign citizen means. Free slave.
You
Exactly.
can be sovereign.
Well, okay, well, that
Luca,
that's
no,
not
no,
really the question
listen,
I wanted
listen,
to
Luca.
ask anyway.
Because words have meaning.
That it was leading to another one.
All
It's
right, go ahead.
you can be sovereign or you can be citizen. You can't be both at the same time. You can be pregnant or not pregnant. You cannot be half pregnant. It's as simple as that. You are one or the
I
another.
love that.
You can be man or woman, but you can't be in the middle. You're one or the other.
Exactly.
Exactly.
You can't be by gender.
The following question was: do you think that like traveling in a car and driving in a car is the same thing?
No.
No, of course not. If you're driving, that's an act of commerce. If you're traveling, that's just you're just traveling.
You enjoy it and drink your beer,
I
man.
should.
You're moving
maybe
from
I'll
one place to
specify
another. Traveling is moving from one place to another.
but not in a passenger seat.
What difference does it
traveling
make?
behind the
What
wheel.
difference does it make what method of conveyance you use? Why would
Because
that make a difference?
traveling in a car could be that you're in the passenger seat of the car.
No,
while it's being
I'm in full control of it. So
okay,
now
well,
what?
then traveling and driving in a car is the same thing.
No, it's not, man.
no,
A
it's not.
personal
Luca,
conveyance system. You're
Luca-
using a personal conveyance system as opposed to, being in the Commission of Commerce.
Yeah.
So that's two different things. If you're moving from one place to another, you're just traveling. If you're in Commission of Commerce and conducting business, that's different.
Yes.
I mean, every
Luca,
time.
I've got a question for Luca there. Do you believe that Duff is a Freemason?
No.
Why does
No,
he
he
say
said
he's
he
a
was.
traveling man?
He travels a lot.
Oh my god!
Traveling, no, man, you don't have basics even, so it's no point to discuss
Wow.
with you.
You're so funny, man. Sometimes I enjoy listening to you.
What do you have
man,
to
Oh, we
understand?
love you.
I'm so sorry for you, man.
We love you, Luca. I know Sleeping Warrior had a question for Luca earlier before Sov came in. Do you still want to ask it?
Yeah. Luca. Let's go back to the hot air balloon scenario, right? It's flaccid on the floor. Somebody holds the opening up and we start igniting the fuel system and start burning all the fuel and stop putting more mass into the hot air balloon. Do you agree that when we're putting the flamed exhaust fumes into the balloon that we're putting more mass into it? Do you agree with that? Yes or no?
Heat energy.
Luca, it's simple question. Yes or no? Answer.
Well, I don't know if that would be considered mass or not.
Why not? Do you know what the definition of mass is?
Because is that energy?
No, you guys tell us it's more particles per volume, and we're definitely putting more particles in that hot air balloon as we start to inflate it, right? We're using the
You're putting heat in it, but I'm not sure
I would
heat
say we're
would be more
expanding.
particles.
We're expanding particles. We're
I
expanding
think
particles.
heat excites the particles that are already there, so
Sure.
they move around a lot more.
But if we don't ignite the fuel and we don't put more pressure into it, it ain't going to start going up, is it? We've got to ignite the fuel and we've got to put the exhaust
You've got
gases
to
into it.
excite the particles, so they start moving a lot more around. Therefore,
So is
thereby
that an increase in
expanding.
mass? Is that an increase in mass or not?
No. It's
No.
no.
So what is it then? We're burning fuel, petrol, or whatever it is.
It's exciting the particles that are already there, and that's what.
So where do you think? So do you understand how combustion of gases work? Right, we put petrol or vapor into a system and we ignite it, and then we get something out the other end of it. And you don't say that that's an increase in mass.
What do you think you'd be able to travel or drive if it wouldn't happen?
Huh?
What do you think you get covered? What do you think you get covered in if you stand behind a big diesel truck and he puts his foot down and fills the area right behind the exhaust pipe with black soot? What's that if it's not more particles?
You get covered in soot.
Yeah, more particles though, right? More mass.
That's putting mass into the exhaust pipe.
Yeah.
And
so are we not putting mass into the hot air balloon?
You're heating it up. You're not physically throwing any mass.
So we're not putting more mass into it then. So what are we doing? We're just warming up the air that's already in there.
Yeah, you're exciting the particles and they move around a lot more, and that's what's expanding the balloon.
So you don't know what the definition of mass is then, because when we burn fuel, we definitely put more mass into that balloon.
Unless mass is energy, then I guess you could say that.
No, you're redefining your own term. When
Luca,
we do
you
a
don't
hot
even
air
know
balloon,
your own definitions. You don't even know what you know, what you don't know. But you think you don't know. That's where the problem is.
I think I need to re-educate myself.
I think you need to re-educate yourself a lot.
Yes, sir. Yeah, and I would agree. Yeah, you do need to re-educate yourself. You need to think about what you've said, especially this afternoon, because
maybe
you've majorly contradicted yourself. You have actually agreed with density and buoyancy and talked about the medium.
maybe I'm just too tired after doing this a few days in a row.
You need to rethink a lot of things. And Luca, I've listened to you. I've heard you call into Sob's show for like the last 2 years and call into here, and you really contradict yourself a lot. And I think you just need to sit back. I think you need to sit back and just rethink some things, and think about where we're coming from, talking about just basically basically the basic theory behind ideas. Stop asking Chat GPT and just calm down for a minute and think and be like, well, you know what, maybe these guys make sense, because you even contradict yourself and make sense to us occasionally. Use our own points trying to go against us.
I just wanted to say hello to Ironworker. Greetings, man.
I just want to conclude by saying that, Luca, you're putting more gas into the hot air balloon when you're putting the exhaust fumes into it, but you won't admit it because the balloon goes up, and you know that you can't have more mass causing something to go the opposite way to the Earth because it immediately debunks your argument. We know that you know this, and that's why you won't admit it.
Yeah, you can't cause more mass
I'll look
to make.
I'm probably just a bit tired after doing this a few days in a row. So maybe
you're too tired, so you're going to agree with us?
No, it's just I'm too tired to form cohesive sentences or arguments right now.
Of course, you're the only one that doesn't understand what we are talking about.
I'm sure I'll be good after not coming in tomorrow night. And
It must be
oh
hard.
wait, no, that would be Tuesday, and you don't stream on Tuesday, do you? Do you
No, I
stream on
think
Tuesday,
I
Flatfoot?
think Tuesday's Flat's night off. I don't know if
Yeah.
is Flat still here?
Yeah, I'm here the whole time. I'm just
Okay.
listening to
Yeah.
the
He was
discussion.
he was asking you. He was asking you.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Do you
Luca?
stream on? Do you stream on Tuesday or no?
No, Tuesdays is my Shabbat. Tuesdays I take off, and then we have Bible study on Discord on Tuesdays.
All right.
That's
So, that would be Tuesday then. Okay. Well, I guess I'll take. I guess I'll take tomorrow off as well. Oh well. Yeah. I won't come in tomorrow to your panel.
Luca, just
Hey.
look.
Well, he's not
Look.
not going to be here tomorrow.
Luca,
I am here tomorrow.
I think even
Yeah,
ChatGPT
it's
will
evening,
answer.
mate.
Well, it
answer
depends
you.
if my wife's going into labor or not. Like I said, it can happen anytime. So
Oh, is he? Are you having a baby? I mean,
Yeah.
is your wife having a baby? Oh, I didn't know that. Huh.
Oh,
Nice, huh?
congratulations! I didn't know either.
Life
I
goes
didn't know
on.
Ace, man. That's awesome.
Flat Earthers, life goes on. Here we go.
It's my fourth child.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
You can expect
Congratulations.
soon
Another
next
baby boy.
free thinker because of luck.
Mhm.
You cannot get us away now. You are
So yeah, I'm probably not going to stream for a week long. So
Yeah.
It's-
Okay. Fair enough.
yeah, so if I do get the call, I'll let everybody know though. But yeah, I won't
I
stream.
guess that week.
Luca, look even into the ChatGPT. Ask him if you add air to the balloon, if it's heavier, or what happens. Ask the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
what I'm
that's-
gonna do. Yeah.
Yes.
Luca,
So
I'd
then
like
you
to
will
know-
know it's more. So then you will know it contradicts your assumption that mass.
I'm sure I have. I'm sure I have said some stuff that's not as intelligent as I usually say.
as you usually say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Luca,
because I'm tired.
normally
I'm
he
a bit
reads the
tired.
Chat GPT word for word, and he's really good. But tonight he's been skipping some words.
Yeah, I just
Luca.
want to say thank you, KRC Sean, for your 5 USDs. Really appreciate it. It says, is anyone on the globe YouTubers come on to speak and challenge you guys? Anyone besides Luca? No. The problem is they're too scared, Sean. That's how it usually is.
of
They
course.
in chat keep on asking questions, but they don't understand what super chat or come on panel means.
Hey, Luca.
Nice to see
Thank
you
you for
Yeah.
the super chat. Appreciate the support.
And
Sean.
the link's down there, guys. I mean, seriously, come
What
on.
did you say?
Luca, next time you come in, if I see you back on panel, I'm gonna rejoin. I'm gonna ask you the same question. I'm gonna keep asking you until you give me an honest answer. If you
And what's the
accept,
question?
well, when we ignite fuel and we fill the hot air balloon with more gases
Mhm.
and the pressure increases, we're definitely putting more mass into that balloon. Yeah,
You're probably right.
it goes the opposite way. Can you explain why? I'm gonna keep asking that until you give me an answer. Have a
Okay.
good day. Have a good day.
All right. Bye, guys.
Hey, it's good to see you,
I'm
Luca.
gonna.
Just
I'm
Luca,
gonna
go
head up.
sleep, and then yeah.
Right.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
I'm
coming,
gonna
man.
go sleep, and
Thanks
when I
for
come back,
calling here, Luca.
hopefully I'll be
Yeah,
more
Take care,
intelligent.
Luca.
Cheers, man. Blessings, man. Yeah, as much as I like Luca, he unfortunately is like a broken tape recorder. We never get anywhere.
Nope, never.
Wasting of time.
Well, he's getting such an education for free.
I
Normally,
feel-
you get paid for that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm done.
There you see how
I
much.
was just gonna say, man, you know that kid. I feel like he's a kid. I don't know if he's a kid. I don't know how old
Yeah,
he
he's
is.
young. He's very young still.
But he, I feel like he listens to us. He just doesn't take it in.
He doesn't comprehend what's going on, actually. I think his
Yeah.
cognitive dissonance gets the better of him, and he rather decides to listen to likes of McToon and FTFE than really just say, okay, yeah, let me think for myself.
But why the hell does he keep on coming on to?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Because he's the only one.
If he,
You know, he
yeah,
gets
if he really
connected.
disagrees with us
He
that much
cannot
and he thinks
argue.
he's smarter, like why would you keep doing that to yourself, because
It is
he
like
really makes himself look
5
dumb.
years old shit was he's talking about. We are over this for a long time. The flat Earth community, you know. And it's good. It's good when some people like to learn, I think everybody here would like to talk about it, But it's always the same, every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, anybody that wants to still have questions, you know what to do. So we're full of panel members, so you can ask anybody anything.
Yeah, I came here to have a question. Um, I sat down like a little bit. I was like 4 weeks not in the internet because I needed some time to rest. And I was just looking at my country and the country, what's going on around me, and um, we are in a difficult world right now. The New World Order, they are wrapping us up. They are trying to get away Christ. They are trying to get away the money from us. They try to steal everything from us now. Now the
Where you
war
at,
is
brother?
going on. Yeah. Now,
Where
I
where
think
you at?
I'm from Austria.
Austria. Okay.
Yeah, like our leaders, they are the worst. That they take the money and nothing is for the people anymore. They destroy a very rich country. It's
But are
catastrophic.
they really your leaders?
Well, look at it this
Yeah,
way as well.
it's the leaders that the people still vote. That's the problem.
Yeah,
I don't.
well, Mike, look at it this way now. In England, they started arresting people for just paying with cash. They don't want people to use
Yes,
cash anymore. They want
What?
everything to be card.
that's what I
Yeah.
mean. We get stripped of our natural rights. It- This is
Even yeah, they're starting to get strict. Like when I go to shops and stuff, they're usually like paying cash or card, and more tills now saying we don't accept cash. We only take cards.
Yeah.
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 In Spain,
I've seen that in restaurants these days. Even here in the U.S., like around Atlanta, uh, they don't accept cash. You have to pay
you
with a
see,
card.
No, you
They
don't
they
have to.
want a digital. They want a digital currency.
They won't,
Like
but it
they
they
doesn't
will
want
not.
matter
their currency
because
because
cash is
Even though
still
it says, even though it says on our cash, like this is
legal
uh
tender.
legal tender, yes,
Yeah.
and
So by
it says
their
this
own,
is legal tender, so they have to accept it, but they're not accepting it, and lawfully they should accept it,
yeah,
but
but you see now many parties, political parties, go to the right. Of course, this is always what's happening when the crisis comes, when the left is getting too strong. The right, like in France, I think her name is Le Pen. She cannot even go to the votes. She was voted the most. She got the most votes, but she cannot even get there because she gets in jail. She has to be in
my
jail.
friend, but it doesn't matter if Le Pen got the most votes because she's hardcore supporter of Israel.
I
So
don't
it's
know this, but this is the people's choice.
I
You cannot.
know, but you have always
The same here
people
in Austria.
selected
It's the same in
selected for you.
Germany. We are crumbling. This European Union is shattered. It's
yeah,
kaput. Yeah, they
The
work all together. These motherfuckers. That there is not just Austria, this and this. They work all together. This is like one big family that goes against us.
my
We have to
friend,
be very careful.
so-called leaders, they're always being selected for you. For you, we will be voting. So it's like a
Come on.
choosing between Juma and Cholera.
They have the
There's no
money.
good,
They,
there's
they
no
have
good choice.
the military. They have the police. They have everything against us. It's a big problem. Here
well, I
in
mean, you
Austria,
think
we
about it,
cannot
the
even
police
defend
are supposed to be
ourselves.
there to protect the fucking, the police are supposed to be there to protect
We
the
cannot defend
citizens
ourselves.
Problem
from
is
the
the
government.
police.
In America,
But the
you can
police,
have
as a
guns.
long arm of the government, they're the ones that are going after you to protect the government
I mean,
from you.
I remember
It's
watching
completely the opposite.
a video a few months ago. The police have really become dumb. They literally break. A guy phones the police to say there's an intruder in the house next door. They break into the guy's house that phoned, and they arrest him.
Yeah.
Yes.
ridiculous.
Terrible, ridiculous.
Police
you know?
has not been created to protect you. Police
No.
has been created to enforce policies.
Enforce their
Policies
policies.
from the
Yeah,
government.
exactly.
That's what's the plan.
They're the long arm stretch of the government, protecting the government from you. They're not protecting you from the government, which is what they're supposed to be.
Now, sheriff is supposed to be the complete opposite.
Supposed to be,
Exactly. So
but what does he
exactly.
do?
So. They
He
should
still
serve
he
the
still
people.
gets funding. He still gets the funding from the taxes that the government collects, which is not how it's supposed to be. That's like the entire system is completely backwards from what it's supposed to be.
Exactly. It's devil his system, you know, and we have to get over with this.
No, my friend, it's not like it's supposed to be. System was designed this way since always. We just only can see it now how it's really rotten. It was always like that.
It's supposed to be us holding each other accountable and also us holding the government accountable. No, it is not that way.
We have to stand up. There is no other way around, you know. The people have to stand
You're right.
up.
You're
There's
right.
no other way around.
Exactly. So I say since many years, use the strongest word, the most powerful weapon you have in your arsenal, which is say
No.
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 And
Yeah.
truth. You know, and all what God said in His 10 Commandments, then you're on the safe side, man. Amen.
Yep.
Mass non-compliance. That's the way.
Yeah.
Because if we stand against them with the weapons, unfortunately, they have bigger and stronger arsenal than we do. But if we come with the numbers, they are afraid of people. I can give you an example. I'm from Poland. We had the law which is supposed to bring restrictions on the internet, on free speech and so on. And people have gone to the streets, and government was afraid, and they stopped it. Later they brought it again under different name, because as they always do. For example, Ireland was voting 3 times on the treaty and the EU constitution. Twice they said no, but then there was so much propaganda, and the 3rd time they said yes. They always find a way. Vote till it goes their way. So voting is voting for your own enslavement. Always was, always will be.
That's true, because everybody in the system is in the system. You have to understand this, you know. There are some people like us, we are out of the system, but they have to fight very hard for getting what they want, you know.
And the thing is that people that should be in control do not seek control.
Yeah. Well, hey, good to see you, Dave. How's it going?
So I am in the show. Okay. I thought I was backstage. I'm just poking around here, like, I'll wait for Keith to let me in. That's all right.
Nice to see you.
Hey, good to see. Can I throw my
anything?
2 pence in? 2
Yeah,
pence
come
for what y'all are talking about with government and. So it's probably different in the UK, but only in subtleties, because the US was the government of the US was established as a sort of a rebuttal to what was happening in the king's country, right? And so we, from what I understand, I could be totally wrong, but we were the first nation to have a written constitution. Based on government of the people by the people.
Yeah,
And
government limitations. Yeah.
Yeah, when I say we, it wasn't like I was there, even though I might look old enough to have been. So the U.S. was. So, all right. The people, there's a scripture that says if the foundations are lost, where will the righteous turn? And in this case, it's the foundations have been forgotten. Most people are disinterested in even understanding history, right? Y'all experience that, right?
Yeah, but because they don't know the history. They don't know.
Exactly right.
Well, that's what I'm saying but they're not interested either. And there's an old adage that, what's that, bud?
I said, yeah, of course. They cannot be interested because
they're not.
They don't learn the real things. So.
Yep. And so even look, the way history is taught in the U.S. in public schools are these little sound bites, and as long as you could fill out the right checkbox on your test, you get an A. But no one is taught to understand procedurally how we got to where we are today by historic events throughout our, 200-300 years is kind of in a way recent history.
You know, that's true, and we don't even know what was behind 300 years, because they all changed that.
Well, there's that, but the people, for example, right now, and again, I'm speaking just for the U.S., but it's going to affect the world. So, why will what happens in the U.S. affect the world? Because the world's currency, the exchange currency, is the U.S. dollar.
Yeah, the world reserve.
That's right. Ever since World War II.
The petrodollar.
That's right. Okay, look, brother.
It's
you
the
just
US
said
petrodollar, not
the
dollar.
I know, but listen, most people don't know what a petrodollar is. They don't know that term. They think that there's gold in Fort Knox and the Federal Reserve. Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Yeah.
I know, but
it would astonish so many people to realize if they really understood.
Yeah, I know, brother.
The United States was founded as a confederacy.
As a republic.
Yep.
As a constitutional republic.
So in other words, your states, okay, what is a state? A state is a country.
It's actually a country. We're a bunch of united
and our governors
states.
used to be presidents.
That's right.
So what you got is with the United States. If you go back to when Robert E. Lee was asked to head up the newly forming up Army of the Grand Republic, he was a colonel at the time, and he was called before the president. Well, the president had summoned him to give him a commission to general to lead this.
Yeah.
Right.
And he said, this was his quote: "As much as I oppose secession, I have a greater duty to my country. Virginia is my home. I cannot turn my sword on her." Right. So he was referring to Virginia as his country. The nation is comprised of these 50 countries. Now, it was after the dictatorial.
Okay, but look, let's cut to here today, if you don't mind. I want to.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Lincoln.
Okay, go ahead. Finish your thought.
Lincoln turned that. He started assuming dictatorial powers from the central government. And when the other states were going, no, that's not what we signed up for, babe. We're not going to be part of that. And that
you want to know what they used to make that look good?
I think technically, back when it was Lincoln, it was 48 countries. It wasn't 50.
Yeah,
we didn't
well,
get
states.
Hawaii and Alaska till later.
The stuff, the average person hearing what we're saying right now, we sound like crazy people, okay, to them.
No,
so understand, we've been lied to and told that the reason what Lincoln did was for the sake of freeing the slaves. Now, you guys understand that's an utter lie.
That's the history. That's the written history.
What really happened is we all became slaves.
Yep. 14th Amendment.
Okay, and within a very short period of time, that's the late 1800s, that by the 1930s, first of all, the Constitution says that only Congress has the right to mint coin in the U.S. Constitution. So to have a Federal Reserve is actually illegal.
Well, that was 1913. That was 1913.
I know it was.
Yep.
But I wanted the impetus to get the people to accept the Federal Reserve was the Great Depression. So everybody's in pain and they're pressed down and they're losing their homes. By the way, the same bankers who said we're going to fix this were the ones who caused it on purpose to happen. Most people do not know that, and they're hard pressed to believe it.
And still, what happened to the value of the dollar? Since like 1913, it only went down every year, and then they convinced us that the dollar was worth something in the 1930s.
Yeah, but same here in Europe. You know, we all had to give up. We all had to give up our currencies, and now we have the euro, and now we have a disaster.
There's a reason.
There's a reason. There's a long term. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because they get richer, the rest get poorer. They get richer off of the poor.
There's a conversation I had at church today with a brother in Christ, and I'm always amazed at how most thinkers even clear-minded men who believe on Christ Jesus hit a ceiling of understanding, and they sit there. And this brother, he's retired, and we started talking about. I started talking to him about my next book, and I was explaining to him what happened with finance. It's kind of like what we're kind of jibber jabbing about right now, and he kind of knows all of that. But then he goes on to say, and this just tore at my heart. I couldn't bring myself to correct him. Okay, he said, yeah, and now, the way that they're going to fix the, with the carbon tax, people who grow trees. Now, wait, people who grow trees, who have forests, who are foresters, who grow lots of trees, are getting paid for the carbon footprint. And so that's how they have a whole new source of income. Now, wait. So he was talking like it was a good thing, like a carbon tax was a good thing. And I shut myself up. I was like, at that point, I was like, there's no way this guy's going to hear reason. What?
I do the same thing, man. I'll be at work, and I'll think I'm getting into a good conversation with a guy, and they'll bring some crap up like that, and then I just know that I need to shut my mouth.
I realized there was no way. I realized there was no way I was going to help him. There's no way I'm going to help him. I'm not going to help him understand.
I had this guy, like, I was talking to him at work, like, we were talking about, taxes and whatnot, and then he said something about, like, yeah, but we did space. Oh my God. And I was like, oh shit, I can't talk to this guy anymore, because the next thing that was going to come out of my mouth was about the NASA projects and all that.
Oh jeez Louise,
and
man.
I was like, I got to stop talking right now.
Okay, so I need echo. I got echo on. What is?
People can't understand simple truths,
Okay, I'm not hearing echo. How about now?
Yeah, it's good.
Yep.
We good.
People can't understand simple truths.
Check.
All those taxes, all those changes, all those supposed laws introduced.
Okay,
always problem, reaction, solution.
Always Hegelian dialectic. It's used over and over
Yes,
again on us. But that even oversimplifies. Even though that pattern is used over and over, what people look. The whole idea of carbon tax is a man-imposed thing. It's a bunch of men got together and made up a new set of rules, and now we've all. What's that?
What I was going to say, that's the thing. What's the carbon they're trying to get rid of? Carbon is the base of all life.
I know.
Carbon is the base of all life. The carbon they're
Yeah,
trying to get rid of is us.
I know,
We
and
are
he
the
knows.
carbon.
I know, but look, here's a man of God. A man of God. He's a Christian. It's not for me to question. He believes on Christ Jesus. Okay, but he's blind because the root of all evil is the love of money, right? The love of money, not money. The love of money. Okay. So
he's also probably a receiver of the 501c3.
No. He's not a pastor or nothing, and we don't even have to.
Okay.
We don't have to go there. So look.
There's many people who think
started. There's many who what?
I didn't talk, man.
There's many people who think like this or like that. This is how they live. If you're born in this family, you think like this. You're born. There are so many different.
Okay. I'm probably older than everybody in the room, not combined, but okay. Well. And I'm look, guys. It gets harder for a man to rethink what he's known all his life the older we get. And so
new wine into old skins, right?
That's right. New wine into old wine skins, praise God.
That's
so look, we are not, we must remain pliable because look, I used to teach Copernican cosmology and go out and do conferences for NASA. I used to teach all this stuff. And
I hope not anymore, man.
What's that, buddy?
I hope not anymore.
Oh, of course not. Not ever. No, but hey, that was another funny thing is while I'm talking to this man at church, this was out in a lobby area before service started. Two men came up and they said, "Hey, I got a question for you." And I kind of turned and I watched my own pastor and that other guy I was talking to walk away. they said, we understand that you believe that the earth is flat. I said, absolutely. The Bible teaches that. I started quoting Genesis 1 and through, and I said, what day? I just asked them, I said, I'm not challenging you. What day is the sun, moon, and the stars made? And they kind of looked at me blankly. I said, I'll just tell you, the fourth day. I said, so we had, and the Bible says that the first day was darkness and light was the first day. Yom Echad in Hebrew, I said, so I believe in a 7-day creation. Well, 6 days, and the seventh God rested.
Yeah.
So 7 days and real days. And I told these guys standing in the lobby where people are walking in and all hearing all this. And y'all could tell I got a loud mouth, right? So I want everybody to hear what I'm saying, not because I'm trying to be belligerent, but they need to hear it in a way, delivered in a way that it causes them to think. Because guys, you might be inclined to think on your own, but I got to tell you that most people are not interested. This is my point. They're not interested in thinking.
You're
They're
correct.
just not.
That's our
But, but you see how people are taught today is they're not taught how to think, they're taught on what to think.
What?
They're
Yeah.
told
Let me-
sound bites.
Let me ask you a question. Where are you from, sir?
Me. I was a Navy brat. I was born in Baltimore, Maryland. I grew up. I literally lived in third grade alone, 4 or 5 different states because my dad traveled. His service duty station was changed a lot, and then finally we settled in Northern California between Sacramento and San Francisco, a little town called Vacaville, which means cowtown, by the way. Vaca. Go ahead.
The reason why I ask is because I didn't have my visuals for you on screen. I had you in the background, and I was listening to your words, but couldn't see you. You have the same accent as a guy called George Natchuk, who used to live up in the northern side. He sounds just like George Natchuk, right?
No, George Anthony does have sort of the same accent, yes.
Very similar.
No,
he lived in-
no, man. Listen, Keith, you got the accent, man. I'm playing. I'm
I
playing.
have delicious accent, man. I do
But
speak of
sorry,
delicious.
but
Yes.
what I wanted to say, I think it's
Yes.
in the whole world the same. You know, every country is in very big trouble. You know, with
Yes.
they have no money anymore. They don't know, and
Okay.
and the big people who try to suck the money and our life force out of us, they are living in, you know, the best conditions. You know, and this is what I wanted to say. This is not acceptable anymore, and the people
Yeah,
are ready to accept it, I think.
Yeah, but they want the markets to crash, Mike.
Yeah. Okay, that's the other thing to finish up my thought about the Federal Reserve garbage. Listen, they knew over
I'm from
100 years
Austria.
ago.
I'm not Federal Reserve.
Wait, Mike.
No, because the same bankers who control the Federal Reserve for the U.S. are the same bankers that control every nation's bank. They're the same, guys.
They're all
the
based out of
same.
London.
Yes.
Yeah, well, so to speak. But listen, they all know that there was going to be a failure. That was the plan. Set it up so that it spiraled out of control. And so then they got to have a fix in the works. It is a long game Hegelian dialectic. That's the monetary system.
Yeah.
The monetary system is a long game Hegelian
This is
dialectic.
why we are sitting here and talk about this, because
Yeah,
it's very
yes.
important, you know, in times
It
like
is important.
Yeah,
And so,
everything. You know,
so look, but then there's medical, guys.
before you
Then there's
find
medical.
God, you have to see yourself in the world what God created, you know, before you have
Right.
your chance. You have to see.
Right.
This was my journey, you know. This is what I can say.
Okay, so somebody had corrected me in the chat, and when I said evening and May, I did use the wrong words. So the first day of Scripture, it says evening and morning were the first day.
That's okay.
I said night and day, but nonetheless.
Yeah, we understand.
We understood what you're saying. So
Yeah.
I know. So if we want to be that exacting, as we can split hairs. Okay. So nonetheless, Yamikad. Okay. So look, guys. I did a show on Friday, a gathering, and it was about. I called it deception smorgasbord. All you
Sorry,
could
what's
stand-
your I'm sorry, what's your channel's name?
If you are at YouTube and you just type @ sign JFCG, Jesus Freak Computer Geek.
Oh, Jesus freaking! Oh, I think I'm already subbed to you, man. I
Okay,
don't think I've
cool.
checked out your channel in a while.
I'm a
Cool.
That's all
I
right.
need to. I need
Can
to
you
get back.
please let Dave finish
Love
what
computer.
he's saying without jumping in on him again, please?
No, that's
Sorry,
okay. I
I was just
understand.
I mean,
trying
I'm
to.
trying to
I was,
listen to what the man's saying, and people keep jumping in and saying a bunch of dumb shit in the middle of it, man. Let the man talk.
I
agree, yes.
appreciate your vote of confidence. I might be saying some dumb shit too. So anyway, so look, here's the thing, man, is that every aspect of our lives, guys, seriously now, is deception. The world is run by a spirit that is opposed to the Most High. It's not run by the personage of Satan. It's run by Hasatan, a spirit that opposes the Most High. It's not an individual, right? And that spirit of opposition to our Creator, some say Yahweh, I say Yahovah, whatever, okay? The Yod He Vav He. Everything in our world is opposed to the ways of the Most High. When he says you don't charge usury, what happens when you go to a bank? They charge you 18%. What happens if you get any kind of credit? They charge you 30%. The world is utterly opposed to the Most High in every way. Our education system teaches us knowledge that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. Truly.
So what we do against it?
If we don't know Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, and if we don't hear from Holy Spirit, we are going to fail flat. We are going to fail. It's only by the leading of Holy Spirit. And listen, in my life, when I fail, when I sin, it's only because I didn't heed the voice of the Spirit of God. And I hear from him, and I still go, no, I feel like doing this because I'm stupid that way, and I'm a man. Yep, guilty. And so, if we do not hear and heed the still small voice of Holy Spirit, we are going to fail. Okay. Hey, by the way, let me just finish this statement, and I'll stop yammering. Look, there's in the scriptures, and it's going to elude me what we were reading from this morning. I just remember this. There's the term the Lord of hosts. Okay? Right? And some scriptures, some versions say the God, the armies, right? God's army. When you look at the Hebrew, you look at the Paleo Hebrew, what you find is the word used for hosts or army is actually representative of a penitent man who lives in the house of the Lord and is an oath to him. So you know how the scripture says it's not by might, not by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord, right? So what you find is that when we see the scriptures are referring to armies or the powers of the Most High and his armies, they're not like man's idea of an army. The battle is the Lord's. So it's those who are bowed down before him. That's his army. We need to be like that. We need to be bowed down before him to do battle. Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense.
Yes, that's why we are here for.
I'm not getting on
Yeah,
your
brother.
case. I'm telling everybody else listening. We're not going to win, and we're not going to make it through this if we think that we're going to outsmart the enemy or we're going to be able to kick their butts physically. It ain't happening.
You know, there will be a lot of bloodshed because of this shit.
Yep.
I'm sure.
Agreed.
This
Yes.
will come, you know. But it must happen, I think, because it was in the past and will come now. It is written in a book, and so
Yeah.
I think I believe in that.
Well, I also hold true to the scriptures, not just the 66 book Bible, and even so, there are plenty of studied men and women who know the scriptures better than I do, and they don't know Holy Spirit, and they don't understand what they're reading. But they can quote it to you.
That's what I'm trying every day,
Yeah.
to go to
Yeah.
people and just talk to them. If
Right
you
on. Right on, dude. Right on.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it needs some time. You cannot go to some people and think in one day they will change. Of course not.
Well, did we change in one day? Because I know
Exactly.
I
I
did.
need I need 40 years, for.
Same
That's
here,
funny.
man. I learn something new every day, and I read the
Yeah.
scriptures. I even read the extra biblical stuff like the jubilees and whatnot. But
Yes. Yep.
I'm still like baffled and don't know. I would never say that I would ever 100% understand everything,
Right.
You
but
should.
I get a better understanding each time I go through it.
Amen.
But I'm not gonna make a 100% claim on anything.
Yeah. And I'm able to
I
listen
can't.
to other people too now. It's not just my interest. It's interest from others too that I listen to. It's very important.
Yeah,
And
I feel like I think it's better just set a good example. Like find a basis of morals and set a good example for other people.
yes,
You want to live a better
show
life
them
every
and
day.
they will follow you. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I can I do the shameless plug before I leave?
Go ahead, man. I already put
Go
your link in
ahead.
for everybody as well.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I have a new website, and
Oh, new
it's
one.
it's in well, okay. The reason why is because people will ask me, "Where's this? Where's that?" And so what I did is I made a website that's just my name.com, and it's a shameless what's the word I'm looking for? Vanity. That's the word I'm looking for. It's a vanity site. So does it make the sin any lesser if I admit it? So it looks like this. So that's what it looks like. Okay.
Ah,
Okay. And everything that's on here right now is a placeholder, but what's going to be on it is basically every area of ministry that I'm involved in. And this is when I was at the North Pole one time, by the way. That's a Russian helicopter behind me on the ice.
Oh,
And this is,
Nice.
I won a Telly Award for a score I wrote for a NASA piece of music. So that officially makes me an award-winning composer, which it kind of makes me chuckle every time I say it. But anyway, so what's going to be on this is a bunch of stuff that's my newspaper columns I've been writing. I've written a newspaper column published for about 16 plus years, and then my book, which is Flood of AI, AI.com. If you go there, if it comes up ever, hello, there it goes. So this is a resource page for my book, The Coming Flood of AI. You could practically get the entirety of the book just by visiting this page. There's audio sections and PDFs versions, copies of it. Video. Oh, strange flesh. They only want to mingle, right? You guys ever heard that little statement there? Right? They shall mingle with the seed of men, but shall not cleave one to another, right?
yep.
All right. So this whole page here, I talk about, as a matter of fact, in the book. Hegelian dialectic is a big component thread that's throughout it. I write about Operation Paperclip. You guys have heard of that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Lucius Trust. You guys know about Helena Blavatsky and right, and Lucius Trust, which is what's her name, Alice Bailey, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Yep.
talk about that. You guys remember when CERN fired up back in 2015, 2016, and some craziness started happening? You guys remember that?
I remember that.
Yeah. Remember this symmetry, this dance opera they did? It was literally a satanic
That guy did that dance, and he was holding up the signs with the little sayings on it.
right
It
here. That's that guy right there. And he's got Bond #1 and Mandela, right?
Yep,
Right there.
yep,
That guy.
yep.
you know, from what I understand, Sally Field's brother
Yes.
is one of the researchers there, man. isn't it?
And not
Right.
only
It
that,
is.
one of the guys from Queen,
Oh yeah.
like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
like
Well,
he helped like design CERN. Like he was one of the scientists on field.
I wanted to show you. Where's it at? If I can get my mouse to work right. I talk about. Well, here's the section. Section 7 in the book is Hegelian dialectic. So on the web page, it's sectioned out like the book is, and I have pertinent videos. You guys remember this? I don't know if you'll be able to hear it or not. Oh no, never
Yep,
mind.
I
It's the
remember
whole
this.
video.
this-
The
I-
Dwight Eisenhower when he said, right, the military-industrial
Yep.
complex, right? A lot of people don't remember that, man. Even people my age, older, right? Because why? Because they don't pay attention because they think it's not important.
Yeah.
And here you go. Here's the military-industrial complex fallout, the Vietnam War, and the Gulf of Tonkin event.
Okay,
You guys
yeah.
remember that? Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, this guy right here, McNamara, openly admits now that well, he might be dead now, but he openly admits that it never happened.
Yeah.
So we had a
Well,
war in Vietnam.
McNamara was Skull and Bones man.
Oh, all of those guys, man. Come on,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
they're all like that. And you guys remember this? Remember this dude right here?
Yeah,
Remember this guy?
he worked for
Harvey Man?
CNN or something, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this is in the book. In the audio version, I quote from his statements, and I wonder if it'll play. Can you hear it?
No, unfortunately not. But it's playing,
Nope.
but you can't hear it.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna share the
Sorry,
sound.
can't do that.
Hang on. I'm gonna share the sound. Share system audio. Should be able
Hello,
to hear it.
Roger.
Can you hear it now?
And hasn't updated the
Yeah, yeah,
update
yeah.
for us,
Yeah.
from Lower
Is it
Manhattan.
Is it echoing?
Only if we talk.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Well, John, we're on Church Street and Reed Street, for those of you familiar with Lower Manhattan, just a few blocks away from World Trade.
What else?
Still thick black smoke billowing from the scene where
This is
both
up,
towers
down, down.
collapsed. Again, just a few blocks away from us.
Remember
We
this?
were standing out here on Church Street when both towers came tumbling down. And each
Yep,
time
yep.
there was a huge cloud of smoke and debris that came roaring down this street, and everyone literally ran for their lives. At this point, the police have been efforting to establish a perimeter. They're trying to keep people back and make sure that no one gets interferes with their job, which is to try and secure the area and
look.
then get inside that.
This event happened in the U.S., but guys,
Control the moderation, obvious.
this event affected the world because I was in South America. It was on the front pages of newspapers and magazines in South America. Okay, I was in Bolivia, and I wasn't in Guatemala. I was in Bolivia.
You know why?
Anyway, what's that?
And you know why they affected them so much? Because they believed in their system, they believed in their government, and they
Yes.
thought it was against them. And you
Correct.
know, all with
Yes.
television, with newspapers and everything, they have everything on their side. That's why I say we are the real ones that are the heroes. You know, not they. They do nothing. They just serve the system.
But check this out, guys. I just fast forwarded. Hopefully, it's to the right section. This
Straight
is
after that came Patriot Act, which had nothing to do with the patriotism.
Nothing.
no. Look. Check this out. This is how Hegelian dialectic is implemented upon the minds of the people. Check this out.
5 blocks from the World Trade Center itself. I witnessed the entire thing from beginning to end.
People talk about how it looked like a movie. I know when I came walking down here early this
See
morning,
that,
I saw
right?
both
Beginning
towers
to
on
end,
fire,
666.
people on every street corner. It was
666.
like a movie, but you watched the planes hit the towers.
I was watching with my roommate. It was
Watch this,
approximately
listen.
several minutes after the first plane had hit. I saw this plane come out of nowhere and just ream right into the side of the Twin Tower, exploding through the other side. And then I witnessed both towers collapse, one first and then the second, mostly due to structural failure because the fire was just too intense.
Okay. Yes, mostly
I
due
laugh
to this.
every
Now
time I hear it.
listen, I do too. I wrote that in my book that became the mantra that everyone. Listen, I was at NASA still, and we sat around TVs and we were bawling our eyes out. We were all we couldn't believe what we were seeing. That it's called trauma-based mind control. People listening, if you've never heard this terminology, you need to do your research. Okay, this event changed the world, not just the Twin Towers and the U.S.'s financial systems. It changed the world.
I have a
Let's
question
ask the
for you.
question, why? Why did it change the world?
Why did it change the world?
Yeah,
Because
Doctor.
It had the people at the right moment at the time to do this,
Yeah,
because
right.
the people, they are not informed enough to are strong enough against this. They are not
Well,
anymore.
that's the thing. They put us all in such a complacent.
They did it
Like
because
it was very well developed. They like I
yes,
feel like
of
during
course.
the late '90s we were very complacent
Oh
with
I
yeah,
got a
we
question for
who
still
we
you.
are,
were and what
guys.
our country was and what we
I have a question
represented.
for you.
And then in 2001, when that happened, you know, we had a new enemy. But we know who that new enemy was
Enemy.
created by.
This enemy.
I have a
mean,
question for you, sir. How do you deal with people? How do you deal with, or have you ever been asked the question, why aren't there ever any ex-NASA employees claiming on the flat Earth side? Have you ever been asked that, and how did you answer it if you have?
The simplest answer is because of fear, and no one would even go there to consider it. Because when you work at NASA, there's this energy, guys, call it spirit, and it is, and there's this energy, and you get. I got paid 6 digits. I got cash rewards. I got all kinds of awards for the science efforts that I supported in the field. So when all of that reinforces you, if you receive a bunch of presents and gifts and accolades, you believe what you know to be true, right? It reinforces all of that. And so nobody's going to stay. I know one guy who was a project manager who I sat in his office one day, and he was project managing a spacecraft, a $2 billion spacecraft. You don't get to that point unless you're a made man, okay?
Yeah, you got to suck a bit of dick to get that high, right?
Well, he hasn't done any of that, but listen now, he's in there and he's saying, Dave, none of this is right. He was actually going to resign his position. He said, I'm not going to give his name because his life is totally not the same anymore. So he said, Dave, none of this is right. NASA should not exist, and all of this. And I'm standing in his doorway, hanging, and I'm like, I don't understand. I don't understand what you're saying. I can't explain it. He says to me. Then cut to me and my wife moved to South Carolina, and God opens my mind. The first thing I discovered, I think, was that the news was lying to us.
Yeah.
That sounds asinine, right? You mean, Dave, you had to discover the news was lying? Yes, I did. I watched a video called Behind the Big News. It was a documentary. It was very well done, and it showed how the news just makes up stories. And
they repeat
that was
the
a
same
revelation.
stories.
Yeah,
They
yes,
repeat
that
the
was a
same stories all
revelation.
across
That's
the
right.
yeah.
That's right. But it was a
it's like that.
revelation. And so we're
It's like-
talking like almost 20 years ago, guys.
It's
Right?
like the meteorologist that's trying to claim about global warming and saying how heavy the rainfall is, and he's on his knees.
Yeah.
The camera zooms back, and you see he's on his knees, and it's nowhere near as much water as it looks.
Teaser.
Right. Hey, check this one out. This one I want to play. This is also in my book. All this stuff, the book covers a lot. It's about AI and how the mind of AI is literal legion, but to understand how I can claim that, you have to understand how the demonic has affected the world and how the people capitulate, how the people just line up. Okay. So remember this ritual?
Yeah, I remember this.
Yes. Yeah.
Get ready to make this word the fast way. Get ready. Kid. Yes, kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. Sound it out. Get ready. Kid. What word?
Kid.
Yes, kid. Boys and girls, sound this word out. Get ready.
Seal.
What word? Seal. Yes, steel. Read these words the fast way. Get ready. Play. Yes, playing. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Let's read these words the fast way without making a mistake. Get ready. Kite. Yes, kite. Get ready. Kit. Yes, kit. Get ready. Steel. Yes, steel. Get ready. Plane. Yes, plane. Get ready. Must. Yes, must. Boys and girls, speak your...
And remember.
Okay.
These are children. These are children.
All right. Well, that's what I want to mention is that Jesus says, "Woe to you, any of you who calls these innocents, these little ones, to sin." Again, because the world is run by a spirit of Antichrist, a spirit that opposes God, Hasatan. they use the innocent to energize their efforts. And so they have these innocent children chanting. Now, granted, they weren't actually reading hit, they were reading kit. Well, all of them chanting sounds like hit, right? So you got hit, play. They were saying playing, but
Still the chanting. It's like a ritual.
it is. It is. It was a ritual. It was truly an
form of-
energized ritual.
It's a
But
form
people-
of magic.
It is a form of magic. It's Kabbalah. It was mysticism. So look, these children were doing these things. That was another reason why that whole event had so much power over the world. It wasn't just some guys flying planes into towers. But the average person, I had a young lady come up and get in my face like she was going to punch me because I dared to say that our government did such a thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I just
My
listen,
dad actually questioned me about this. Like when I told my dad, I was like, dude, I told him, I was like, straight up, I don't believe those airplanes. And he said, why? And I said, the nose of the plane came out of the other side of the building. And my dad said there was no way that the nose of a plane would fly through structural steel and come out of the other side. And then he watched one of the memory things, like, you know, the
Yeah.
memorization, you know, things on Discovery Channel. It
Yeah.
was like 20 years later. He
Right.
saw the nose. He saw the nose come out of the other side of the
and
building.
it popped back in. I know it's classic.
Oh,
but,
dude, he looked at me and he was like,
Okay.
"How in the hell did that nose of the plane?" Because we've watched nose of planes like get hit by
guys,
birds,
it's an
birds
aluminum.
and be destroyed.
It's an aluminum eggshell against concrete
Yeah,
and steel.
exactly,
Come on.
exactly, and yeah. Oh yeah,
That's
yeah.
actually birds, guys. Just
Yep.
birds.
Yes.
That's birds. That's birds.
But listen, but we're never going to get anybody to even believe it, even at that point, because the amount of deception is so great that the average person will just curl up in a corner in fear. They can't handle the truth, like the freaking cliche statement. And so
It's like 3 millimeters of aluminum.
Oh, I
It's
know.
so it's like
Yeah.
sheet
Oh, you
thin.
mean? Oh, wait a minute. It's just
Stupid.
like a space capsule. Right?
Fiberglass. That
Yeah,
nose is
basically.
fiberglass. Hey,
Well,
Dave, that
I mean,
nose-
most of those smaller planes are fiberglass.
it's
Yeah.
bullshit.
the noses on those jets are fiberglass. That nose.
Yes.
cone.
Yeah. The
Well,
nose
the
cone is.
C-130s,
Yeah.
the C-130 is aluminum and titanium, but
What
it's
Yeah,
happened?
well, but the reason why the nose cone is not metal is because there's EM devices.
yeah,
so you can't have
do.
radar
They have
and
those
you can't have all that.
antennas and whatnot.
You
Yeah,
got to have what
yeah.
amounts to a radome. It's got to be a fiberglass cone over top of it.
What
So,
happened anyway with the-
hey, let me show this other section, Keith, real quick. So this is section 9 on the book. Okay, the great minds of our time. That's a sarcastic statement, by the way. So this is Jeffrey Hinton. I don't know if you guys know who that is. He's called the godfather of artificial intelligence. If you've never seen this video of Geordie Rose talking about quantum computing in 2016, please go to my website and click on this. You'll find it on my YouTube channel, but it's right here, plain as day. Go and it's a 20-minute video. You need to hear what this man says, okay? And then the same as this, Sam Harris, who's a philosopher. This was an NPR, so this was a left-leaning presenter, okay?
Yeah.
And even he says stuff about AI that's over the top, all right? And finally, in one of the last sections of the book, I talk about this is Microsoft's AI development team, guys. Now listen to this. This is literal. I'm quoting from their own white papers. We have focused on the surprising things that GPT-4 can do, but we do not address the fundamental question as why and how it achieves such remarkable intelligence. How does it please? How does it reason, plan, and create? How does it exhibit such general and flexible intelligence? They don't know how it works. Didn't they make it? Right? And so that's why that and many other reasons is why I teach that the mind of AI is literal demons. We are dealing, what's about to hit us, and we're already in it, is light years ahead of what we've been dealing with in the world with Hegelian dialectic and everything else. Now we have a 24/7 intelligence system that all of us, whoops, I'm dropping my phone.
That's true. That's why I got no phone anymore.
I just want to point out
For
to the
example.
I've thought about getting rid of
All of us
mine.
are connected to it.
I
Like
got
it or
rid
not.
of it, you know.
I
The
had
But-
first
smartphone.
the first 2 weeks are crazy, but then it's okay.
Wait,
But
guys,
Yeah.
Mike, you
Hey,
guys are
listen,
the
Les.
here.
Go ahead.
it's not just that, guys. It's not just that. The
What?
the end goal, the end game is that we become the platform for compute. Our biology is being leveraged as a platform for compute. I know how freaking crazy that sounds.
You see?
Okay.
Well,
and
I've been
what?
saying this about data mining this entire time about like doing people, they're doing this data mining to get cryptocurrencies. The
Right.
data that they're mining is us. Like,
Is us. But no, but I don't just mean the data about us. What I mean is they're going to use our biology as the platform to compute on. That they're going to interlink us. Well, why would anyone agree to that? Because that's how you're going to get your universal basic income. So at first
Yep.
you'll get universal basic
afraid.
income. Huh?
Because all are afraid from the consequences.
Yes, I know, brother. I know that. But
What they
listen,
make
you
sure
and I are not. You are not. I and others like us are not afraid. But the masses around us are, and they will come down hard on us because we're a thorn in their side. Now, I'm not preaching fear here.
No,
But-
it's not fear.
Yeah, yes.
You have to see. That's what I always say. We are the first generation who find out that we got completely destroyed in the what's the difference of future in the
Yes.
Jesus Free Computer Geek, I left for you some more videos related to Microsoft and what they have achieved,
Thanks, brother.
as well changing your DNA and
So-
using DNA as data.
and so
there
we
are
can be very proud of it because we are the first who get this out, to the
Yes.
people because we have the technology to do that. It
Well,
wouldn't
I
be possible
do. We're
otherwise.
doing exploits.
well,
as the
it's because we
scriptures
can read
say.
into it, and it's also because we know how to read into it.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
We know how to read their
Well,
special language because
we
they
see
term
behind the
things
carpet.
very
You're right.
specially.
It's
I
not
think
it's not
you're
just that. It's we're able to discern seemingly disparate components and wrap them all up and together and make sense out of it. And the average person, even the above average person, doesn't. Not only can they not seem to do that, but they don't care to. That's for whatever reason.
Yeah, they don't care to. Yeah, I
most
don't want to say
high
that I'm
prisoner.
smarter. I don't want to say that I'm
Right.
smarter than anyone. Like, and I don't want to put
Smart.
anyone down. But yeah, we did. You're
It-
right. We
Intelligence
discern it.
is not
Yeah.
smart. Intelligence is different than
It's
to be
discernment.
smart. To be smart, then you are with a family. You do the right things. If you're intelligent, you have to learn this intelligence from somebody, and
Yep.
then you fuck your whole life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, let me just show you these two things. I want to show you one of the best reviews of my book and the worst review. Okay? So here's one of the. Oh, great! It's not going to do it because I'm not logged in. Oh well.
Oh
So
wow.
that's all right. No big deal. So
Fine.
I'm just gonna. You got to take my word for it because it's not going to let me
Wait,
log in. I don't think.
Just don't show people. Okay.
Well,
I'm sorry.
no, I can't. I can't log in anyway. So all right. So the worst review, the guy says, all I am is trying to get people to believe my faith. So, okay, guilty. That's guilty because throughout the book, I say on the bottom of each page, if you don't know Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, there's a prayer on the back of the book and go there and pray the prayer of salvation on the back of the book. So on every page of the book on the footer, it says something akin to that. Okay.
Amen, brother.
But so, amen. So, yes, that is the main focus because knowing what we know, again, knowing what we know is utterly pointless if we don't have eternal life in Christ Jesus. It's utterly pointless.
That's
Okay.
true.
And so, and then that's why we have to speak the truth in love. Okay. and so we must be patient. I know it's not easy.
Yes.
Believe me, I want to shake people half the time.
Very important.
But but nonetheless, listen, as things go forward, guys, we're going to get so rejected and so despised, and there's going to be so much venom. But like James writes, count it all joy when
That's
different
okay.
trials and tribulations come against you.
I know where I'm going when I'm dead. That's
Yeah.
okay. I can. I don't have fear anymore. That's
Yep.
the biggest thing I can say.
So that's I just it is frustrating. I share in you guys. I hear you guys. I jump in a lot. I'll be driving down the road because usually you guys your nighttime is my mid afternoon, and I'll be
Same
driving
here.
down the road and listening to you guys, and I hear your frustration over and over again, and but I share in it. But we're gonna. Who was the brother that said the only really way that we can really get to people is one-on-one, to have a discussion with people? Somebody said that a little while ago.
That was me. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. It seems like a tiny thing, right? I mean, it's better that I speak to 100,000 than one, right? Well, maybe not.
No, it's better that you speak
No,
to one that understands than 100,000 that ignore you.
And I would agree with that as well, because I mean I've talked one-on-one with people, and it really does seem more productive
Fruitful?
than
Yeah.
speaking. Yeah, it's more fruitful, more conductive.
I got a question for
look.
everybody. Has anybody been in with a question for us on the
Well,
panel yet?
I see a statement right here. Debatable D. Janice Kowalski. Is that what it says?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah.
I gotta. Okay, I gotta. Where it just jumped on me. Dang it! Says they don't support. They don't like the left-right paradigm. They don't use that language. So in politics, that whole left-right ideal is forced upon us.
Exactly. Two parts of the same coin.
Yes.
Left versus right.
So that's another lie, right? She says.
If you've realized, they've also given the one side a blue color and the one side a red color because the colors represent a specific type of attribute.
Well, they're also the opposite ends of the visible spectrum. So it's the opposite end of visible light spectrum. That's what it's toying
all
with.
based on magic, guys.
It's like in boxing, man.
Yeah. And so, there's actually, if you look at the chat and the comments, there's kind of questions, or they beg the question throughout. I'm just looking at.
Just simply do not vote, because I refuse to vote for my own enslavement and your enslavement.
Yes,
I do not
yes.
support any government.
It's all
Right.
manipulation, brother.
So then in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, is in the U.S. local government is the only standing ground. The only place that you might be able to make a change is your local government.
From the bottom up, not from the top.
Yes, not yes,
Still
and
manipulation.
it still is manipulation, and they're still full of crap. They still suck, but you can. Individually, you have some kind of effect. I can run for public office. I ain't gonna ever make it to running for president, but I can run for local office, and I can be a change within that body of body politic, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, but I could run for public office, but I don't think I could ever be elected.
But I think
Why?
it's very hard.
I mean, I don't think I ever would. I mean,
Why?
I think they would. I mean, I think they would go for people that they that are political,
that means
because
that,
I'm not the kind of guy that would go out there and.
I don't believe in politics. I believe in that we politics is a bunch of crap anyway. I ran for public office, and so I have a little bit of understanding about what I'm talking about. I didn't win.
You have done it?
Oh yeah, I've run for public office. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Thank you, Flat Earth Gibraltar, for your 5 membership gifts. Really appreciate the support, man. Really appreciate it all. Appreciate everybody that supports this channel. You guys rock.
I could never go out and actually politicize myself. I'm not the kind of person to go out and do that.
Well, what I did is I ran. It was for an at-large position for our county council, and I ran. I did not want to run for chesteratlarge.org. or is it .net?
You know what's the problem with this is?
There
Because
it is.
if you go in their game, you have by the play to the rules.
You have to play by the rules.
No,
Yeah,
well,
exactly,
wait,
man.
but kind
And I
of.
don't want to do
But
that.
once you get in, you don't have to.
In
So
both
look,
sides. It's not
Yeah, you
possible.
do. You did.
this
There
is
are rules.
this
There are
this was
specific
my
rules you have to play by.
well, no, I know what those
Once
rules are because
selected.
I ran for office. So look,
You know?
I know what they are, and what it is though is that my mistake is I didn't run as a Republican or Democrat. I wanted to run as an independent, but I didn't have enough time to I didn't find out about the election until like 2 weeks before it was coming up. So I
So you
ran as
ran
much.
2 weeks before the
Listen now,
election?
Man,
Before you
before
go
the-
on, I just want to say,
before you could go on the ballot.
before you
could
go
on the
on, I
ballot.
just want to say thank you, Flat Earth Travolta, for your super
Yeah.
chat. He says Jesus loves you so much that he died for you. He rose from the
Amen.
dead. He must
Yeah.
come
Praise
again.
God. That's
All
right.
hail King
Yes.
Jesus.
I would
Amen.
die
Amen.
for Jesus.
Thank you very much. You rock, man.
What I'm getting at is that the public is truly, even locally, not ready to think outside of the proverbial Republican Democrat box. Okay, they're just not. That was
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
but that was my naivete, is that I thought, well, I'll run as a libertarian because I could get in. So I had to quickly become chair of my county because we didn't even have a libertarian party in my county. So I became chair of the Libertarian Party in my county so that I could get a legit, because it's a recognized political party. So I could get my party on the ballot. It's not even my party because I didn't even like the Libertarians. They're as bad as freaking the rest of them. But I wanted to get on the ballot. You get what I'm saying?
But it's their system.
Okay.
Their
Okay,
system.
so
They
that's
create-
right. But listen, so know the system and you can game the system, right? So I would invite people to go here. It's chesteratlarge.org. You can see what my political leanings are. Okay, how apolitical they are.
No, that's okay.
This
You know, it's not me that I want to attack you or something. I think your things are noble, you know. But if you are in the system, you have no chance. You cannot
listen,
get.
my
there.
goal, though. You're right. You're right. But
Yes,
locally,
right.
I'm talking about local. I'm talking about local government. These are people that are your neighbors. That my sheriff, our sheriff is a neighbor.
Yeah.
These are local.
Yeah.
We actually got another super chat from Mr. Jingles. Thank you for your £5. He says,
So-
question to one. A serial child molester finds and accepts God. And number 2 is a person who has no views in God. Will both or none be accepted?
Only one. One. We're not talking about God here. There's only one way to the Father. His name is Jesus Christ of Nazareth, Yeshua HaMashiach. The one who believes on Christ Jesus is the one who goes to heaven. It does, and not that it doesn't matter. You do pay for your sins, but you will stand before an all-knowing, all-powerful God.
Exactly. Even the child molester, if he has asked for forgiveness and things, he will go to heaven, but will still be judged for the action he's taken. Obviously,
Oh yeah.
he'll be accountable.
That's the nice thing, Keith. You know, that's what I'm always hoping.
Jesus died for us, guys, so we can have a relationship with him. It's
Yeah,
as simple as that.
I love him. You know, this is-
And you have to live by John 3:16, or you will unfortunately not spend eternity with God. That's how it works. He won't force you to be in his presence for eternity.
Nope.
You have to make that choice.
And we are the first one who get together this whole shit and try to put together a puzzle. You know, it's like a puzzle game. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Roger, for becoming a member. Woohoo, Alpha Wolf, really appreciate it, man. You rock.
Yeah, my credit card, I had to change it because my new job and stuff. I didn't know I could do it just now, but I did. I lost my membership, so I wanted to get. And Elder Bear dared me to buy one, so I did because he got a free one. Blame Elder Bear. Hey, Elder Bear, come on the channel and tell us all about your slow birth. Come on, dude. Come on.
Well, hey, guys! I'm going to take off because I'm trying to fix a power washer, and I need to get back to it. It's the joy of home ownership. It owns you. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for allowing me to speak my piece.
Anytime.
Appreciate it.
I love when you're on, man.
Nice having you here, Dave.
Yes. Blessings.
Is Mike talking? Yeah, he is.
I'm sorry.
Something. Yeah. So Dave, have you had any hectic globe?
Me? No,
Yeah.
not really. In fact, there was the one since this moderator in one of the flat Earth groups on Facebook, he just like muted everybody for a week and shit. So my notifications have been nothing. So no, I don't get a whole lot. I don't even. I just go. I'm pretty much to the point where it's like, oh, okay, well, you just go ahead and think that.
Just people have been asking me the whole time, "Where's Sov? Where's Sov?" It's like he's probably busy.
Man.
I've been working a lot, man. We've been working a lot. Plus, we went to a tool show yesterday. You got to keep me away from those places, man. I came back with a cordless 7 1/4 inch circular saw.
To the guys on the chat, guys, if you don't see it, that the list, for example, of people flying on the Lolita Express to the Epstein Island, the names, the big names, they
You're
are
never
on
gonna
the hoods, they're all in the black what's that, Skull and Bones, all together, all clubs. They are supporting each other. You don't get it? I can't help you with that. It's not conspiracy theory, it's conspiracy fact. You have to see it, and you have to get from the left versus right paradigm. None of them is working for you. None of them ever did, never will. You have to get it. All of them, they're raising taxes all the time. All of them, they are working against you, so you get less money all the time and more for them. You can't see it. That's your problem.
Yeah. Mentally Divergent, thank you for your $10 super chat with a bang, fire, gas, love, pray, fist bump. Thank you very much for that. You rock.
Hey, Sov,
Divergent.
did you remember the
Cheers.
pint of milk that you actually went out for when you came back with all the tools?
Good God.
Oh, he's on mute.
Yeah, he's on mute.
Can't hear you, Sav. Sav, we can't hear you.
My bad.
Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I go to a tool show and it's like, yeah, my wife was with me, so it was like, oh yeah, this is gonna come in. Yeah, we're gonna need this. But then the other
came out with a power saw and a reciprocating saw and a drill.
Well, I did get this. I saw this little portable cordless shop vac too. That I was like, that works out perfect because that shit's always getting. You can just pick it up, take it to wherever you need to be. You don't have to roll it. You don't have to find a plug. You just pop your battery into it, and the thing sucks everything up. It's clean up your little mess around where you're at. So yeah, I went ahead and I got that. I went to go put it back on the shelf. I was like, no, I'm just letting it. And then I thought, no, I'm going to end up coming back and getting this anyway. So I went ahead and got that. And then of course I seen a really cool little DeWalt laser measuring tool. It's good for up to, what is it, 50 feet? No, 30.
About average.
30 foot. No, it's 50 foot, but its tolerance is like 1/4 of an inch in 30 feet, plus or minus. But I mean, if you're just trying to figure, okay, what am I going to need for this, that, and the other, it saves a lot of time. You take that thing, let me go get it. It's really little. It's a little pocket thing, man.
Hey, Sean
like
Scorpion.
Sogs.
I guess this is Sogs.
Yeah, Sogs. Yeah,
Probably Sogs. Yes, I thought so.
It's funny, man. What
Yeah.
does it say
Apparently-
above the monkey, though?
Yeah. Apparently, Sov got a community strike or something.
Ooh, that's not good.
Sov, did you get a community strike?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that sucks. For
Yeah,
what?
so it's a week. I'll be a week.
Oh, man.
No worries. Need to break.
You're welcome to come over anywhere else, man.
It's all the bigger this thing is. And
It's huge.
Really cool.
turn it on.
Monster.
And like right now, from the bottom of this to it's about
Good
4
night.
7/8 inches to the ceiling. And you can turn it over into feet, meters, whatever.
Mhm.
And, so You click it again, and that holds the measurement. Then if you hold it down, it'll change it. Like right now, it's at 33¼ inches. Then if I hold it down for
Mason confirmed. Mason confirmed.
0.845 meters.
Does anyone know what happened to Chiquita? No idea. I don't pay attention to that guy.
Nah. He's living
It's
in
good
a
to see.
backyard
It's good to
shed.
see Dal's back a bit again, still doing his rants though.
Is he still
I gotta
pushing
go
upwards there?
over there and check it
He's
out.
still
Yeah,
pushing
yeah.
upward rising shed, yeah.
I don't get it. He's just become Bob Nodell Mark to him. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Well, at least you're gonna have the money to buy a ring laser gyro, you know.
Yeah, me too. That's what I need.
Yeah. $20,000 you got laying around somewhere.
Well, here's there again. Why am I going to spend a shitload of money to prove a negative?
Uh-huh.
I don't have the burden of proof on any of that shit, and this is what these idiots rely on. Where's your proof of a flat Earth? It's all around you, fool. You're the one with the positive claim of a globe. I experience a level stationary plane with topography on it. Okay, that's what I experience. And then some jackass comes along and says, "Oh, in reality, though, you live on a ball. You just can't see it, and it's turning, and you just can't feel it." And it's like, okay, well, that's kind of stupid. So you have to prove that to me. And I need some shit that's going to be beyond a reasonable doubt, because that's just ridiculous.
So, do you see the Sogs meme he's got up now?
Who?
Chiquita's channel's gone, guys.
Huh, it is?
Yeah.
Sog's got a meme up. It says, "I'm a sovereign citizen." It's got Batman slapping Robin.
I see that. I hate that people say that. I'm like, it's like, dehydrated water. It's no such thing. Free slave. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
But that's why you made that name on purpose, so it's like people get questioned. Because it shows people don't actually know.
And it's the sovereignty of my soul. It's the whole thing is you can lock my body down into a little freaking cell if you want to, but you cannot ever, ever chain my soul. You can never, ever capture my soul. It's not going to happen.
Hey, Elderbear.
I was going to say, Elderbear, thanks for the super chat. He says, FE 1 degree to Polaris equals 69 miles. That's 69 times 90 equals 6,210 miles.
Hey, Elderbear.
Wow.
1 degree per 69 miles is not true real world. It's only true in your model.
Ding, 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 ding. I've been telling them this.
And guess what? It's based on nautical miles. It's based on over the ocean because they couldn't
60 nautical miles.
It.
60 nautical miles is the same as 69 miles. But those distances, Elderbear, they're straight lines, mate. They're not curves.
Mm-hmm. And they're linear, obviously, right?
Yeah, rather than parabolic.
Let me quickly get it up. If I can find my old presentation. Got so many presentations.
Bev would want to come in and talk with us, man. What's wrong with him? He's actually talking about my channel. He came on there.
Bev, try thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to think here.
I didn't know he was still around.
Oh, yeah. He's in the chat.
So there we go.
What?
So 1 degree equals 60 nautical miles.
Oh,
yeah.
Here we go.
That's a lot, man.
69.9.
It's not true. It's not true. Sean Hawkins has demonstrated it. It's not true.
You got 45 degrees. You see 25 distance, altitude. It's just elevation angles, guys.
Yeah, because it's on a globe.
Has a y-axis. Is that what you're saying right there?
It's so stupid, man.
Yeah,
Okay, so if you have Bob standing on the x-axis,
this is nice. This is what I like.
You see, we have Bob standing on the axis, so he's got 90 degrees Polaris ahead of him, and the y-axis, which is the equator, is 180 degrees. You see, 360-degree field of view. So that would be his azimuth. is azimuth, and then 1 degree equals 16. So 1 degree equals 3,600 seconds. 360 degrees equals 1,140 minutes, or 24 hours
Here
to
we
travel.
go. Here we go. Look at this, huh?
So we only ever observe 180 degrees from us. So that means it equals to 720 minutes, which means 12 hours. That means the maximum distance to view 180 degrees is 60, which equals 10,800 nautical miles, which is the ever angle which gives the whole circumference. So only ever measure from 90-degree angle, which is 6 hours, and that gives 5,400 nautical miles. And that means the maximum distance to measure co-altitude angle is 5,400 nautical miles. That's the equator distance, guys, just to let you know.
Ding.
Great math, man.
Thank you.
So in case of an arc, yeah, this is one of my old presentations. In the case of the arc, 1 degree has been divided into 60 minutes. And we know the clock arm movement rotates with the circumference of clock 2 times every 24 hours. So that means that 360 times 2 equals 720 degrees. And because the clock is built with 12 partitions, so for a single partition, the witness of 1 degree equals 12, which is 60 minutes. So that is how 1 degree equals 60 minutes. It's not globe-based. It's just literally a sundial. It's a clock.
I love it. I love it, man. Like you say, it's this is the word how it's calculated.
Yep, and it's just simply based on triangles, trigonometry over a flat plane.
Of course.
Yeah, 90 degrees, man. There you go. So I mean,
What's
what's
triangles are made out of 3 straight lines?
They are. Damn.
And then where's my other old presentation?
Why are we still going through this?
Because we need to. The people don't understand what the 69 degrees is.
Yeah, I got you.
That's another thing that they trick you. That's another thing that confuse you too. You got statute miles and nautical miles, and then when they're trying to figure, well, from this place to this place, well, in what miles is that? Is that all nautical, or is that a mixture hodgepodge of nautical miles and statute miles?
Yeah, that's how they fool you, huh?
So yeah, the math comes up to, guys, 90 degrees minus the co-altitude angle, okay, which is the elevation angle is 80, which gives you your co-altitude angle times 60, which gives you nautical miles. So this is all based on flat Earth math, guys. So in measurement, if you see the star at whatever degree it is, that is what you would do to get the math. You would minus the measured angle, which will equal your co-altitude angle, and that co-altitude angle would be times the 60 to get your distance in nautical miles. And that's how we get this, because it's based on perspective.
Yeah.
So
Simple
if you add the radius value to this, it's going to screw it all up, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I have bad eyes, so I don't see this.
And remember, all of the lines in question here are all straight. None of them are curves, all straight.
Exactly.
It must be.
Because there ain't no such thing as a bendy protractor.
There are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no bendizontal. That was a thank you, Bev.
You know, guys, I got to the conclusion that there is no point to even trying to debate or exchange thoughts with the bloggers, because you can't really convince them to anything.
You always have triangulation, because that's how maths work, you know.
What was he saying? You can do fuck all with a bendizontal.
With an angle.
Need an angle, right? Exactly.
Well, there we go.
You can do F all with it. Yeah, he's gonna show you bendizontal.
There's a bendy part up
Exactly,
here.
so,
Oh wait, no. Oh, look at this flat, straight line that we develop our angles from.
Yep.
So stupid that we have to talk about this in these times. I mean, really.
Well, you know, level curves now, boys. So you know this.
But it's interesting.
Talk to a geodetic surveyor. They'll tell you how it bends.
Hey, Friendly Fire. How's it going?
Hi, man.
Love these things.
Hello?
Anybody there?
Where are you at, my friend?
He's behind the microphone.
Until Friendly Fire talks, I'm going to have to keep the camera hidden, just in case.
Just in case. I would say.
Just in case. But you're in the back room, Friendly Fire, so you can talk. Nobody just can see you there. Sorry, it's just we've had a lot of attempts on this channel.
What
Let's
the
put
hell
that
is
way.
with people? That's what gets you. Why?
Yeah.
Why? If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. What are you so worried about?
One of the best channels in internet.
I'll tell you,
I'm
man.
glad you guys like it. Good to see everybody. Please hit the likes. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys. And share the show. It does help the show to grow. Fair warning, friendly fire will not be tolerated.
Well, until he speaks, he's
Oh,
not
sorry.
going to get up here. So
I agree. This is a good statement. Bendy's is a conflation of two incompatible geometries. So therefore,
Thanks.
low can't claim level. I agree.
Yeah, it's probably the best thing he's ever said, Bev.
Well, you know, another of the tricks
One
that
of
they're trying to pull on your ass with that is that they're going using third person perspective, two-dimensional orthographic Euclidean geometry to describe what you're seeing first person perspective geometry. And it's not the same. It's not the same. You cannot represent you cannot represent first person view from a third person orthographic. It just is not going to work out for you.
Flat Friendly Fire asks you.
Yeah. I'm going to quickly see if I can get up again.
You have to have the fixed point, and the fixed point is you, and then you do it from your way, But you cannot take another guy and and sees this is optics.
But I still think people are going to way too more details. For me, it's always very simple. KISS, keep it stupid simple. Provide
Yes.
evidence for the
It's
freaking
simple,
curve of the
stupid.
Earth
That's the
and
best.
air without containment,
Yeah,
gas
keep it
pressure without
simple,
containment. That's it. It's very
See
simple.
it like it is, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can of course take mathematics into equation, and it always will lead to a flat Earth. Easy.
Okay, there's the math up. What's the issue?
You're saying you don't know how to make equations now. Okay, you don't.
Okay, what's wrong with his math?
Go ahead.
What's wrong with that math?
90 minus 80 isn't 10.
It starts from.
As I recall from the primary school, even before primary school, it was always.
Now there's a
90
good
minus
example.
80 is definitely 10.
That's a great
keep
example right there.
stereo-
You're using third person perspective and grossly out of scale. But third person perspective in orthographics to describe what would be seen from.
Yeah, what I was trying to do with this graph was try to explain, because orthographic isn't perspective based, but I was trying to give a visualization of how the angle appears to follow perspective.
That's interesting, because you see, first you see that is it when you stand beside the mountain like this guy at 600 nm, whatever this is, and the guy who is the red one exactly. It is completely
Look what I'm
different.
trying to. Yeah, look, I'm trying to explain your field of view. You see this arc, this visual dome.
Yes.
That's what it's following. If you see, as he's going away, the degree is following the dome's drop. You see that?
That's his visual angle to it. Because
Yeah. So when he gets to the equator, that would be too low to be able to see, and that's why Polaris has now, by the equator, you can't see Polaris because it's just too low.
Friendly Fire, don't type. If you want to say something, come to the panel and speak.
You're in here now. You can say something. If you don't have a
Yeah,
camera,
nobody in the chat can see you besides us on the panel, so they don't know what you trying to say. He's just saying I'm wrong, guys. He's saying 90 minus 80 isn't 10. Like,
Don't even address it. You said the rule was you had to come in and ask the question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not come in, has he? So let's not give him time.
So don't even reply to him if he doesn't come and speak by himself.
And that's why we can call the stars and where they are. This is how it works,
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, this is. I don't know
why. He wants
why
you to use both sides of the circumference, the radius. He wants you to put them on
Let's
both
give
sides.
him 2 minutes or 1 minute to come. If he doesn't, Flat, please kick him out from there.
Of course.
The private
Of
chat.
course. Why not? Shall he come?
See, guys, and this is how the globe derives their latitude and longitude. They just literally take the angle from hell, you could say hell's angles, and they just duplicate it to the top of their sphere. So it gives exactly the same angle reading, and that's why they get the same measurement. Based on a flat horizontal.
Who's popping their mic?
It's me, I think.
Usually,
Probably.
it's usually Roger.
Roger,
Yeah, I'm
please
typing.
stop that. You're hurting my ears, man.
I'm gonna mute.
Roger, stop smashing that keyboard. You're going to break it.
What I say? I mean, this model of the,
Hopefully, it's only a keyboard.
of this model what they have. This is completely not understandable. You know, if you really think about it. So stupid, huh?
His only rebuttal is I can't do maths, but he can't show where I said got the maths wrong there.
And you do the math, and yeah.
Dude, if
Where
you're gonna
are
call
you?
me names, come up here and do it in person. You'll talk crap, dude. Come up here. Don't type it in.
Come here, or we just won't be even reading what you are typing. There is no point. People can see it on the chat.
I always push it down the private chat. Much work, man.
I'm not gonna sit here and type back and forth with that motherfucker. I mean, sorry, that guy, friendly fire.
So, any other questions people got for the people on the panel?
I haven't seen anybody coming in.
No.
One of them's backstage, I think, still, isn't he? Or do you leave?
No. Friendly Fire's not in anymore.
Okay.
Because Friendly Fire got triggered and started swearing at you, telling you to stop the mic.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Wasn't very long, so.
He has proper nickname, you know, Friendly Fire. He just shoot himself in the foot.
Yeah, that's possible. That's what happened to me sometimes too.
Yeah, PJ's okay. He's just taking a bit of a break from trolls.
Oh yeah, heard about that.
They've got a lot of things going on at the moment. So
yeah, because they're all assholes. You see, that's how they are fighting. This is no fight. This is just you know, just bullshit, man.
Yeah. We should have just thicker skin, you know. I don't give a FCK what they say, to be honest. I always like to conversate with them, have a conversation with them, and bash them.
Not always.
Maybe it's not Christian, but I like it. What can I do?
You know, but it comes different when they harass you and your family or anything, you know. And then
Yeah, that's true.
No, this is different.
If they start doing that to me, believe me, I will find them.
Yeah, fuck off. You know they know where they hide. The idiots. They can't just hide. They must.
Well, David, thank you very much for
say so last time.
gifting 10 memberships. Really, really appreciate it, man. You rock.
So you said something like that like sometimes they are, you know, going after people's work, people's family.
Yeah.
And someday they will go to the proper guy and they will do something not really nice to them.
They are liars. They are liars, and they know how to, you know, cheat. You know, that's what they are doing to the people. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They think they are safe behind the keyboard, you know. But someday
they
will cross someone, and they will be surprised.
The thing is that they're going to cross the wrong person.
Together, you know.
Yeah, the wrong person, exactly. The wrong, not person, wrong man, wrong man.
Thank you, Chilster, for your £5 saying nothing. If you just tag me in, I'll put it up again. But thank you very much for the super chat, man. Really appreciate the support. You rock. You're awesome, man. Yes, try thinking that 69 miles is based on flat Earth.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. All the measurements.
Rules.
all the measurements are based linearly, as you saw. 600 nautical miles is a linear function. But yeah,
Say that again,
but it's
please.
only based on the arc linearly. It's not based on the base as linearly, obviously, because it's based from perspective.
Yes. It's all flat, so now it comes together.
You bring it down to 90-degree angle.
Well, let me show you guys why it works.
I don't understand why.
Let me get to Michael's channel quickly.
Go ahead.
The guy's great, man.
Sogs is funny, dude. That is me on the weekend.
See, Michael's changed his name again. I've got to find his name again.
The troll, whatever, Terminator.
Yeah. What's his name again?
Let's
Troll
go.
remover.
Troll remover bot. I think it's bot. Troll remover bot, but he's got a. Oh man, what's the full name now, Michael? There, Michael Con Globe Troll Remover Bot. Okay, gotta
nice.
find a specific video.
I was like, say, Mr. Banner, you're probably right. They probably like to juggle them. Yeah. Did you get some sleep, Flats? You don't look like it.
Yes and no.
I know what you mean.
Sorry, guys, I'm looking for a specific video with Mr. Sean Hawkins himself.
Ooh, Sean.
Oh yeah, let's do this. That's how interesting.
It's got to be exactly with the 69 nautical miles.
That's interesting.
The most interesting primate on the internet. Sean
Let's
Hawkins.
go. Yeah. Let's do this again.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Brent.
Where is it? I think it's this one. Okay. Yes, I think it's this one.
Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm going to be away next week, so I probably won't be uploading out to YouTube. So I thought before I do go on holiday, I'll leave you with a little gift. Let's put this heliocentric buffoon to bed once and for all. You've accurately modelled reality, Sean. Cool. How come only one of your sticks points to Polaris? Parallel lines never converge. What's this then, Sean? It looks like you might possibly have accidentally proved Flatzoid correct. Sean, Polaris's height never changes. It just appears to sink towards the horizon as you move further away from it on a flat plane due to perspective. So then, as you move away from it, your elevation angle gets smaller over distance. You moron!
Now I get it, man.
So he literally made a demonstration that showed it to be true.
Oh my god. Yeah, now I get it. I didn't see it before. Sorry. Yeah. I mean, this guy, you know, he did always everything against that earth. Always. He was there, like, I don't know, 15 years, 10 years. Fixed. I mean, I do this since 11, 12 years, I think.
Really, Bev, really. They hide a lot of crap, dude. Just have to tell you that.
Yeah, I don't think so. They understand why it's multiplied by 60. Can you explain to them why there is a 10?
We just went through the presentation on the clock hand.
And still can't get it.
It's got to do with the sun moving across and the stars moving across the sky.
I don't know,
Literally
man.
a sundial.
Every year.
You know what? Maybe we have to really speak it like to the freaking first grader, so they understand.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because looks like they can't grasp
Eric,
it.
Eric, in my opinion, yes, I think he is.
Possibly.
Okay.
He looks
I have to think about
certainly to
that.
be one.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
I know him for a very long time. I have to think about that because, yeah, sometimes, yeah, everything is very different since this shit experiment in question marks. You know what I mean? Yeah, everything. Yeah. I think some people shifted extremely. You know.
Yeah, and sad because he has a lot of
Yeah.
influence in Flat
Very
Earth,
sad.
but he's really suspect when it comes to things because what he says and the
Yeah.
kind of context he's got.
He changes his. You know, he's a changer too, and
Yeah,
that's what I don't understand why.
yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, it's sad. Fucking sad.
Okay, so guys, this is time for closing statements. I think we start off by Janusz and then give any shout outs, your channels or whatever you have, and then.
All right. We can bring the thorough evidence. Of course, they will always say, nah, that's normal. So, like I very often say, you can bring horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And we cannot, no one can change your mind. You are the only one who can change your own mind. So, if you prefer to stay ignorant, but we provided for you knowledge and the way to check your own thinking, your implemented perception of reality, you should be looking into why you think what you think, and then research further, and you will find that you were lied to with every single thing, nearly every single thing. Then you figure it out that the world is based on lie, and then you figure it out who is behind those lies. When you get there, you can come back and speak with us, and we can point you to the proper direction, why it's happening, what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Anthony? I guess he's not by his
He's walking the
thing.
dog.
Yeah. Okay. Solve you.
Yeah, man. See
Say-
this thing? This is designed right here to measure angles with, so that you can cut different angles. Right along here are all your degrees, so that when I put this on the one pivot point and I move this to the edge of the wood to one of these degree points, that the corresponding line is going to be at that angle. It's real simple shit. Notice there's no arcs in this anywhere, unlike the protractor. This works
Yeah.
just like the protractor, only this gives you an edge to your angle instead of just the whole thing around. It works the same way, but instead of leaving this stationary, this pivots on a central point right here.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Nice.
Notice there's no curvature built into this at all. If there
Yeah,
was,
why
I'd
not?
have to throw it. Well, because then I'd have to throw it away. Because it wouldn't be worth a damn for anything.
Exactly. So
Hello,
you say
Mike,
your
right?
channel's off for a week and then you're gonna come back again?
Yeah, I have my backup channel, which is, let me go ahead and grab that real quick. I'll put it in the chat.
It helps today to have backup channels for sure.
Yeah, and it'll be. Let me bring it up real quick. There it is, the channel, and I'm going to put it in the chat down here. Let's see, I got to be over here. There we go, and we'll paste it in there. And so if I do any shows this week, which I probably will, I'll just do them over on the backup channel and over on Rumble. For some reason, my VPN doesn't allow Rumble to come up on my computer. If I turn off my VPN, then it comes on. I don't know why. I've got it set for the United States, so I'll have to get a hold of my VPN company. That's why I didn't. That's why I wasn't on Rumble the other night, because I couldn't figure out why it did that.
It took me a while to actually get Rumble set up so I could stream to Rumble while I'm on Restream.
I still can't get my chat to come up in my thing, so I don't know how that. Maybe they've changed it or something. I'll have to get in and play with it.
It took me a while to figure it out.
Yeah. All right, folks. Thanks for letting me come on. I'll talk at you all
Anytime,
later.
you're always welcome, man. Just as blessings.
See you
Mike?
later. So.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you all. You make a big difference in this world, you know. We're just beginning. This is all just the beginning. And we will be victorious. In the rate this is going, boys, I tell you, we make this. And everybody who is here is very important. Also the chat, thank you, everybody. And yeah, do your thing to help God out because he needs us.
Amen. Derek, I don't know if Derek's by his phone. Who's there? How's it going, man?
Hey, sorry, I just got back. I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch you guys' stream.
I thought you have a Bob Ross painting ready for us there.
Oh, what? It's still over there. Oh yeah, okay. I'll put the focus on him.
No. I thought you painting one for us.
Oh no.
You should try it. It's actually fun. I've done paintings like that.
Oh, yeah, painting is perfect.
Did you say my name? Because I couldn't.
We should actually do that sometime, guys. We should attempt to do a Bob Ross stream where we watch a Bob Ross painting and we try to replicate it at home. In real time.
Right.
I think I could be
Good luck
fun.
with that.
Hey,
Well, I got painting
Terrible
experience, so I'll
painter.
be fine.
It comes how it comes.
Hi, Jolly Man.
I bet
My
he's
turn?
got painting experience, so I'll be fine.
Yeah, go on.
Ryan. Yes.
Okay, what I wanted to say was I hope you can hear me good because my mic just dropped out.
Yeah,
but
you can't.
the thing you got to remember about math is that all math, including trigonometry, geometry, all those, they all use straight lines. A line is defined as an unbent, uncurved, straight line that goes from one place to infinity or in both directions. A ray is something that starts at some point and then moves on in an opposite direction in a straight line. There are no curves in any math. All we do is use straight lines to plot arcs, people. We don't use curved lines. We plot those lines. We plot the arcs by drawing straight lines and measuring them. That's how we come up with these answers. So don't let anybody tell you that their math proves a curve. It's bullshit.
That's a very good point.
Nice. And Ryan's out.
Yeah. And Solves just says closing words, be cool, rewind.
Nice.
And then Roger.
Oh. Well, I'm just wanted to say, oh my god. Yeah.
Best one.
There's a lot of strife going on and in our community for nothing, I think, personally, from what I can see. And you're letting these trolls get to you. Anybody that wants to come and poke fun at you, just ignore the living crap out of them. They don't have anything. That's why they're coming after you.
I can't find Sol's backup channel link.
I have it.
I got it.
All right.
Well, that's all I got to say as of recent. Just quit fighting, guys. Just stay true.
Stay true, bro.
Definitely. Okay, so yeah, guys, till tomorrow night. Really appreciate you all coming. Many more blessings. Appreciate everybody that supports the show. Please hit the likes if you haven't already. Yeah, this was exciting. I appreciate you all. Many blessings until tomorrow. May the pressure be with you. Bye.